Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and sometimes tangent. And again, we're having a slight tangent, but at least we're on Gundam this time, right? So we're going to be talking a little bit about Maxi Boost. But today I'm joined by Gustav the 13th
Yep.
and Gaming Emblem.
What's going on, my guys?
So Emblem, how was your past week? What'd you do? How'd it go?
We're pretty good. My life has been consumed by koi koi. It's
Apparently I have blackmail
is
on
the
you
end all
now.
be all. No, it's all out in the open, so it's not blackmail if it's freely accessed information. It's just embarrassing at that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I have
Um,
embarrassment on you now. Haha.
yeah, there you go. But I've been playing a good deal of Sakura Wars. The new one came out on Tuesday. Really cool game. You can hit up waifus, do occasionally battle in these like magic, like kind of like spirit energy steam powered robots. And more importantly, you can have sweet delicious conquest in Koi Koi Wars. Because you can challenge, like, it seems at some point you can challenge like every character that's relevant in the game to a battle of Koi Koi Wars. So we're kind of hoping the final boss battle is me defeating the final boss in Koi Koi Wars. That'd be pretty awesome. That's a card game for no one's played
Yeah,
Soccer
I was
Wars.
gonna say that's gonna
Yeah,
be like the triple
Gustav.
triad of that game, isn't it?
Yeah, Gustav, you should know what it is. Actually, somebody told me that Koi Koi Wars has a mini game. Like the game that you play is in Yakuza as well.
Koi Koi
Um,
Wars.
Oh,
It's
like
really?
I
probably
don't know
not
if it's called.
called Koi Koi
Yeah,
Wars.
it might just be Koi Koi, but you use like I think they're like Hanafura cards or whatever, and like each player gets dealt a like a set of 8 cards, and
Mm.
there's like a pool of There's like a pool of 8 cards in the middle, and you're trying to make
Oh, I know.
combinations.
It's one of the games that's in the homeless park in like Zero, and then
Maybe,
they have it in gambling halls.
Maybe that's
but
where I've
you've
heard it
probably played
from.
it too.
Because when you explained what it is, I was like, wait, I think I've played this somewhere somehow.
I'm assuming that visually it's a lot more over the top in
Yeah, I
Soccer
don't.
Wars.
I mean, in Soccer Wars, you're just staring at a waifu in like their background of choice, and then the
Mhm.
card interface is there. So honestly, it's probably more over the top. Like, they probably have Kazuma or Kiryu rather doing like crazy things whenever stuff's going on in that game. I'm sure it's rather vanilla in comparison. But yeah, good week so far. We got to seventh Gundam off of a single spin.
Get
Feels
out of
streamer luck,
here.
man.
God.
Get out of here.
Yeah, no, again, the real streamer luck is pulling 20 weapons out of 20 boxes, no big deal. And having
Hey
like
man, you needed
and
those.
having like 9 fat uncles just show up in one 10 spin, no big deal. And them all be weapons. That's the real luck. I'm gonna continue my insult game. What, you guys don't have weapons?
You don't fly.
You
You
don't
don't
fly.
waddle.
You don't waddle.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no weapons, no nets, no phones.
Oh man.
Hate to see it.
But yeah. So Gustav, how was your week? What went on? What's been going on?
Pretty good. I was there with you guys, but did that Maxi Boost on Network test. That was really fun. We've been continuing Death Stranding. Still in the second region. There's just so much like, oh, I can do this, or what's that over there, or I can just do one more delivery before I stop, and it just turns into like 5 hours plus of me just running around building shit.
Nice.
So that's been enjoyable. I didn't get the 7th yesterday, unfortunately, but I did get the flight type and the Gavaldi beta out of a fucking silver crate post match, which felt pretty good. Also the level 2 MLRS. There was something else. Oh, it was the Goku VD.
There you
Got
go.
another level of that. So we're in there. We're getting some nice
Sorry
stuff.
for the minor
Probably gonna
derail.
do
Can you
another
guys hear me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Discord was like, we can't hear your mic. Is like, that shouldn't be possible. Okay, keep going.
I was gonna say Discord, go home. You're drunk. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I
right.
know. Discord's always drunk. It's like never in a state of being sober. So I don't know what we're gonna do.
But yeah, that's pretty much been the extent of it. Just quarantine life besides that. And trying to do streams a bit longer and stuff as a result.
By the way, I do have a question as far as Death Stranding. Like, when I was
Mm.
playing it, I kind of felt like this almost need of urgency to push to the end of the game, like just because it was like I want to do all this building stuff, but then it was just like, one person like in chat was like, so what part of the story in this and what's going on next? I'm like, oh, I'm really curious, but I want to build, but I want to push story, but I want to build, right? So
Mhm.
like now that it's been so long, are you feeling like a need to push through the story, or you just because you mentioned building stuff? Like I'm a big like building thing. Like I was rewarded later on in the game just because
If
later
anything,
chapters.
I'm a little annoyed at how much the game wants to push you. Like there was one point where, in the second region when they want you to go to South Distro and like do all that delivery stuff over there, I was
Yeah.
taking one of the other orders for Sam, and I was gonna do that one first before I went to South Distro. And I was like, "Oh, you're interacting with the terminal. Well, you can take this too while you're at it." They literally shoved that quest on me and had me carry that shit around.
Oh yeah, that.
It's like, "Oh, so nice of you to come here and actually do the story." I'm like, "Nah, fuck you, dude. I'm over here still trying to get these pavers running."
Honestly, it sounds like Final
Um,
Fantasy VII sometimes. You'd be trying to do some side stuff, and then you
it's like,
walk
"Where are
like a
you
step too
going, dummy?"
far,
Like,
and yeah, they're just like, "Don't go that way." But the loot, Eris, the loot. Like,
literally got
Oh
Jesse calling
yeah.
you a dummy.
Right when you were like, I
You're
want to go to the
gonna
church.
leave.
I want to go to the church. I saw that piece of loot. Wasn't that one the one?
That
Like,
was Chakra.
yeah, like, yeah. It turns out to be nothing too crazy, but I just remember talking to Emblem like
It's like,
after.
but I
I
want it
was
though.
like, "Did you get to go back?" Because I just ended and like rated him. I was like, "Did you get to go back finally? What was it?" And like the next day, I'm like, "Oh, it was garbage. We were excited for nothing."
nothing
Sad
too
face.
serious.
It'll probably come in handy in hard mode, I would assume, though.
Oh yeah, you
I
definitely
think,
need
Just because
like
you're using ATB as opposed to MP.
depending on.
yeah,
Well, and the thing is, MP in hard mode, you just don't get back. So if you don't
That's what
have
I'm
an easy
saying. So
regen
like
way, it's like, yeah, you're just
Chakra
spamming
instead
chakra
is just
prayer.
like
I just
yeah.
have
Prayer
Barrett.
seems better.
Yeah, Barrett's my prayer man. Like he's just like, I'm a tank. I'm a tank. Everybody looks at
He's
me.
in the back. He's in the back worshiping the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, man.
I heard that.
praise the live
Yeah.
stream, praise
Praise
it.
praise the live stream. And then everybody, like, for real though, he just stands there, shoots a bit, stands there, shoots, guards, shoots, pray, guard shoot,
Have you
guard
heard the
shoot,
good word
pray.
of the Cetra?
Oh
They're bleeding
man,
the planet. We gotta stop them.
we gotta stop him. The planet needs
Bleed
your
the
help.
dry.
I'm
Oh my god!
sorry.
Remember,
I
we're
said.
talking about 7. We
I
need to
know.
stop.
Sorry.
No.
I said the banned word. Final Fantasy
Oh
VII.
my
Okay,
gosh,
fucked
no,
up.
Let's keep
no, no,
going.
no. I mean, we were
Fucked up
talking
already.
about the same problem.
Nope. You moving right along?
Okay, but yeah, Death
You
Stranding though.
put the marker board down.
Death Stranding's done too. We're still moving along, getting good
Okay,
progress. And
cool,
yeah, I
cool,
am
cool.
still building a lot.
But yeah, I will say though, I'm glad I built so much because like later on in it, I'm just like, oh, well, I gotta make this delivery. Well, here I've built my very complex zipline train of like 50 million zipline. Have you got the zipline yet?
Not yet. We
Okay,
just got the shelter and the outpost.
it's somewhere.
So there's a
It's
lot more
somewhere
of those
close to
popping
the
up now.
southern one though. But when you start seeing
That's
ziplines,
the other nice. That's the other nice thing is just being able to find all these extra spots to put on the network and just seeing everyone's stuff come up.
oh yeah, that's one really cool thing about the game. That was
So
probably
like
the
the
coolest.
collector, how he's down that sheer cliff or whatever.
Yeah.
I zipped I didn't zip down there. I put a spike and then just like roped down there. And then once I got that on the network, it's like 5 million ladders were all over the
Oh
place. I
yeah,
was like,
no,
nah, we're good.
it was the most cluttered place ever. Like, I felt like one time I should have. I think I have a clip of it, but there's like a ladder over top of a ladder because of that area, and I'm like, what? Okay, no way this was what somebody set up because I don't think the game would allow it. But like, it had a ladder over the ladder, and you couldn't get up the main ladder that was the good one. You had to go up the
Holy
crappy
shit.
ladder over here, down a rope, up another rope, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, come on,
You're
game,
just griefing
pick
ladders. I mean, you
pick
can
good network
dismantle
stuff.
one at least. But still,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fucked up.
But it was just like, man, what is
People
this?
building to grief other builders so they can force likes onto their
Yeah.
stuff
Oh
instead.
no,
Oof,
no,
you like that.
I didn't
Some
do
people do
that at
that.
all.
Also, those
saw
like for like
Palpatine.
icons that they put in front of every entrance. Like, nah, man,
Oh,
you got to run through this first.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that either. Not at all. No, I'm not farming likes over here. Um,
How's the world look to you guys stuff? Like I saw it some in Magnum's point of view when the game is still fresh and there was like some stuff, but is it like a whole like, industrialized like highway filled city scape
So
now?
so the pavers get touched up every once in a while, but I've had to build several of them as I've been going
Hmm.
through.
okay, I've been curious because a
People
lot of
have been
those.
maintaining them pretty well afterwards, but there's 2 more that I gotta do, and then we'll have a decent run to the weather station. Everything else though, like there's still a good amount of bridges, there's still a good amount of rest stops once you get those areas onto the network. So they're pretty thorough in the places that matter, and they have some markers for like the memory chips and all that too.
The way they
So it's been fun to see like what people have been putting up.
like the way they originally explained it was like you'd have your node of stuff, and then you'd have like another node that you were on, and then they would pull from that. But I think they're just pulling from just one server now at this point. I mean, they would have to, I think, at a certain point. Otherwise, it would be just like a desolate wasteland every time somebody new got into the game. They're like, I'm gonna connect up and have some help from people. There's nothing here.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
Mhm.
to consolidate at some point, right?
yeah. So I wonder if they just consolidated it at the beginning a little bit too. I'm kind of curious, but
Maybe a little.
yeah, but definitely a cool little concept. Um, have you done much?
It'll
Here's a question: Have you done much action stuff like as far as the little raider camps or whatever?
I found out that you can actually clear them out for a certain amount of time, and then I got the, bullet gun. So, yeah, I've been hitting those up and just clearing them out.
So here's a question: Would you feel like if there was a game that had that much action in it, made in this engine, how awesome would it be? All
You
I'm
mean,
saying.
like, 5 except more detailed?
Okay, yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's just kind of what it feels like.
So, yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Like, the idea of, like and that's the interesting thing, I'm interested to see the ending just to see where the world stands after that, because having, like, a continuation of that world would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see more stuff
I will
made in just the
say,
engine. It just looks good. Like on the 4K TV over here, like there were times I'd be
Mm.
like, "I'm sorry guys, I'm looking away from this and I'm turning on
Just
this."
looking at this.
Oh,
And it's even just on a regular PS4, like, they've optimized that engine really well. So I can only imagine what it's gonna look like on PC, it's coming up in July.
oh yeah.
hmm,
That's gonna look really good.
Gustav, I have one last question. I think this is kind of what everyone wants to know, but did
Oh,
you did you take better care of Truck Coon than Magnum did?
Haven't gotten them unlocked yet. I've been taking the,
Oh,
Mule Technic right now.
no, see that's the thing. I took one of those and I kept it through the entire game as it slowly
Oh,
rusted.
that was Truckun. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, it was just one of those, and I
Well, I
never
mean,
found out a way to repair them.
I put mine in the garages. I still put them in there when I can, because 'cause they're good for backups.
I thought you couldn't put those in the actual garages though. Can you
You
now?
don't I mean, I just put them in the shelter, like, under there, like, behind the
Oh, okay.
garage
Yeah.
thing, because they stay there, like, if you park them there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I got 2 at South Distro, and they're just kinda chilling out there.
that's pretty much where mine's at. That's where Truck Coon's at now. I still haven't found a way to repair Truck Coon. No,
rip.
pretty much.
I mean, yeah, they're not supposed to be because 'cause they're just, like, unregistered and kinda shitty, really.
The thing
But
is,
they do their work.
I took it all the way. Have you been to the farm yet? The farming one? I think I went there before I went to the south one, so I kind of went way out of my way.
Is that around, like, Lake Nut, or is that in, like, the
It's
next region?
you mentioned the weather station. It's just south of the weather station.
Okay. No, I don't think I've been
So
there yet.
when I made it to the weather station, I went just down and found Truck Coon and found another little group there, and
Oh, no,
then
I have hit that up. Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So I drove
I don't consider it the farm, but yeah.
So I drove Truck Coon from there all the way back to like Lake Knot,
Holy shit.
through all that horrible debris and everything, and through the river, and yeah, there was this huge journey. That's the story of Truck Coon. There was a huge journey getting there, but Anyway, so yeah, my week, stuff and things. Maxi Boost on the weekend, GBO2 stuff, more Final Fantasy hard mode, getting farther into the hard mode. Without talking and getting too far into it, it's just nothing really has actually run into that hard, except for now I'm starting to do the hard mode simulations in Chapter 17.
Yeah. Oh, the
And those
simulations
are
are gonna be a bitch.
yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that today after this. After I do like a bunch of GBO2 tonight, I'll hop into that and do some more simulation stuff, and then probably finish hard mode tomorrow, and then actually get a proper speed run in sometime next week. We'll see when that happens. I'm gonna actually probably, you know, do
Yeah.
stuff on the weekend rather than play just nothing but maxi boost like we did this weekend.
Gotta be productive.
What's production? What?
I mean, it's having like a bottle or something over here on my couch rather than actually having a cleaned up space. That's what happens when I don't have my weekend to clean. But yeah. Other than that, though, had the most tilting boxes. I don't know whether it was the internet thing that happened yesterday, but tried to finish up Borderlands 3 with Chad. We're close. We're really close. We could have probably finished it in like 3 hours. Then it's time for the in-game stuff. So
Right.
I'm really interested to see what that turns into. But I have to say, I'm liking it compared to going from Borderlands 1 to 2. 2 just felt like it kind of got boring, and now 3 just felt like it's revitalized almost.
That's cool.
It's got a really cool
Like I
streamer
kind of
mechanic.
lost interest playing too.
Yeah, that was my problem with 2. Is it was just like, well, we've been through it this 40 hours. Let's play it another 40 to finish the story mode. Yay! There's so much content. So, like, for content wise, 2 was massive, but it was like one of those things like we were ready to tear our eyes out by the end of it because it's just like, let us get done, please. We're just going through the main story quest now. Please let us finish. But yeah, 3 definitely it's got a cool streamer mechanic with this extension and stuff. They can just like be like, hey, we're gonna take over this badass enemy that's in front of you, and now it's leveling up. Now it's 7 levels higher than you. Now it's healed to full
Like
health.
chat can do that?
Yeah, chat can just
Gotcha.
vote on things to do to it, and it would be like,
That's cool.
yeah, it'd be like now it's level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm only level 3, man. Give me a break. You know, like, and then it just kills you, and then it's like, okay, event over. Chat killed you.
Check out what they wanted.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Integration and stuff like that is cool. Like that is a cool touch. I agree.
If you open up a chest, you can like they can vote on items that they want, or they can pick an item that they want out of that chest. So say you get a really cool item, they can actually get some of the loot. If you want, which again, we're not at the end game, so pretty much all of our stuff is garbage. Except for this event has made the game very easy. There is legendaries flying out everywhere. And what we didn't know and what we didn't really read was if you play co-op right now, you get like twice or 3 times the loot. So instead of just seeing 2 legendaries, we kill a badass and we see like 8 legendaries fly out. Everything's a legendary pinata right now. So yeah. And that's been our entire playthrough, is just legendary pinatas all over the place. So if I end up playing back through this, I'm gonna be like, man, what's this upgrade I got? It's only blue? What is this? Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll use it.
Just skew your view of like how it's supposed to be.
Live that poverty life. I wanted to ask you, like, when you were saying about chat and the chest loot, like, are you saying like the chat members can get loot? You said like they pick items and they get it.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's an extension, so it'll pop out on the side of the screen, and then you'll see a box come up, and it'll be like, hey,
Does it
here's
count
the
as
items.
drops for them?
Like, is it a Twitch drop, or is it like they log into their like Borderlands account?
Yeah, because I think they have to be integrated to do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
now for the actual loot, they have to have their own Borderlands account. So then
Kind of like how Valorant's
you'll have like a
right now.
list of like, I want this gun, this gun, this gun, this gun, or this gun, and then they pick one, and then it'll
Mm.
take them to the website to be like, now log into your Borderlands 3 account, and then you
And you
log
accept
in,
your thingy do.
and then it's like, okay, now you got this gun that this person found, like that.
Gotcha. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. Like that kind of that's awesome. I like they need to do that for more RPG style games.
Oh
That's
yeah.
sick.
It's like here's
Like
this one chance, like 1 in a million chance drop item.
Imagine if they let you do
Boom.
that for remake. That would have been nuts.
That'd been crazy.
yeah, or just even like something like Path of Exile,
Oh yeah.
Diablo. Like that sounds awesome. They need to get on that.
Definitely Diablo. Path of Exile questionable, just because Path of Exile actually has
26.
has an economy. Like you actually want
Man,
to
fuck your
craft the
economy. You guys
items.
are ancient.
Yeah.
You can have
Eh.
that shit.
You wanna-
Diablo has an economy too. Whatever.
No, it doesn't.
Just do it.
Diablo had its economy ruined really fast, right? It did have an
Oh my
economy,
gosh.
and then they just fucked it up so people don't think about it now. PoE's got a bunch of people clutching their wallets and purse strings because they put money into that game. It's like, but my investments. It's like, yeah,
Bro,
you
I
could have
could care-
invested
I
that
could
in
care
real
less
life
about the
too.
economy.
So fuck all that shit.
We're just trying to give the viewers a good experience. If they get free loot while they're watching me, the economy of PoE could be damned.
I'm doing it for the
Ooh.
content.
Yep. I'll ruin the whole economy.
But I could see it with Diablo 3 though. Like it would work great for Diablo 3. Like that would be something that would make it stand out and wouldn't really affect it because you can only trade with the 4 people playing with you at that current time. So instead it would be like you could be playing it and trade with the entire Twitch chat essentially. Only, because at that time they would get the copy of that item with the same roles or whatever, right? Or even maybe they get a
Yeah.
copy of it, and if it doesn't have the same roles, it at least has a chance to be, because that's essentially what D3 is right now. Is you do a build and then you try to find the same item or better, and then you want which I don't know if there's a new step to this now, but I think it was like ancient or something like that, whatever it was called. But
Have there been any like Japanese games that have tried to take advantage of the drop system either?
not that I know of.
Yeah,
I kind of wish GBO2 was like a more Western game because they would totally do that with this, especially with the events that they do. Like the 2 million could have had that too. Just some offhand like suit that's been around for a million years, but if you don't got it, you could get it as a drop or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, the drop system and
Yeah.
the extension thing for Twitch is just this huge. I feel like, there's been some cool uses of it, but I really
I'm
feel
surprised
like there's.
Bamco in general hasn't jumped on it for one of their series because they got a pretty good like range of series that they
I
can
only ever
touch on with
see
that.
I really only see Bamco do SpawnCon. Like they either like they sponsor stuff for like the FGC and they do like sponsored content, but like and every now and then there's like a stream on I don't know if they stream on Bam if it's just a ban on Namco or it's banned on Namco Licious or whatever the stream is called.
Namco
They occasionally do like
Delicious, though.
a
Hang on, hold on.
yeah.
Bruh. You know what though?
like
I feel
occasionally
like
do a sponsor stream on there.
I do feel like they get kind of roasted by the FGC. So every time they do it, they just turn into Miyazaki for a second, just like FGC was a mistake.
But I think they're more on the ball with content creation and like actually like kind of like how Wizards of the Coast or just any of the groups that kind of offer kits or whatever to content creators to help push the game. Like I think it would do a lot for stuff like I don't know how they do in GVS. There's no like real handouts or whatever in game, but I think Battle Operation is definitely a game that could benefit from them, supporting the content creators a little bit more. Granted,
True.
there's maybe just the audience sort of group isn't there for it to even be worth bothering with, but
I mean,
I think it would help
I mean,
out.
that's why
personally,
they
for
do
me,
that kind of stuff with drops. So like Valorant has been a very controversial one just because people are doing like essentially illegal reruns, like saying that they're live and then just putting VODs up so that they can get more drops through that system because it's beneficial towards them to actually get more numbers.
yeah. So you're not supposed to. Apparently, yeah, I learned that too. Like that, you're not supposed to have a rerun and even say that you have to say that it's a rerun if it's a rerun kind of thing.
Right.
And people have been doing that with the regular VODs too for a long time.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But like, I will say though, the Valorant thing
what are you
too
getting
is
from the drops?
you get into
By
the
the way,
game.
like
Yeah, like
So
it's a
is that
whole
it?
code to
Like they're
actually
just
get in there.
farming the key? Because like
Yeah.
that's what I thought, but I figured people would run in like reruns. Like, what did any other key for? They're already playing the game.
Well, like I'm
Are they trying to
assuming
like
that
sell
it's
them?
just incentivized for actually having people get drops on your channel.
Yeah, so like people will just roll a rerun and have like, 7 ads play,
People
and
just
because
chilling and they're
yeah, people are just there
okay.
being a view,
So they're just like
like
farming money and
yeah.
Yeah,
getting
without
people to
actually
commit
having to play
stuff.
more. Like they're literally just have this one drop
Interesting.
for like a million years.
Yeah, you play one day for
Gotcha.
12 hours
Interesting.
and then you just have your stream go for 12 hours a day running an ad
And like
every
most
30
people
minutes.
won't care because they're just trying to get the drops because they're
Yeah.
just hopping from
Right.
channel to channel.
And
Yeah.
then
Interesting. Yeah.
people's viewer counts were going from like, they'd have, people that would normally have 3,000 had like 300,000 and that kind of deal. Like it was just gross, some of the numbers certain people were hitting. And then like
Give me the loot.
And then yeah, and it would be like, oh well, now they finally went ahead and said, okay, now everybody who's streaming gets the drops. Now one thing
Yeah,
Twitch
and
did
not
crack
only
down
that, but they
on.
cracked down on that
Yeah, I was gonna say
like what
Twitch
the next day or so.
did crack down on the reruns a little bit, but what they definitely cracked down on is if you were one of those people who even accidentally, so big oops there, because I know I'm bad for switching games and not changing my category. But if you decided to do Valorant and then switch to something else and you were playing a different game and not Valorant, then you got a nice little ban. I don't know how big it was, but
Oof.
I'm guessing at least a 24-hour one there. So if they caught you under Valorant category without playing Valorant just to get the extra random view botters, then the ethical view botting, if you will, with drops and stuff. But
It's even ethical at that point.
I don't know. I mean,
That's why it's in quotes.
the
Yeah.
legal view botting, I guess. We'll go with that instead, because that one's actually promoted by Twitch, I guess.
the free view botting. Yeah, that's rough.
But yeah, but yeah, it's back to the extensions and stuff though. Like I really think that a company really needs to, as a software engineer kind of guy, like if they did something for, say, BattleOp, they could start it with BattleOp because it would be easy integration probably, and then they could just take the same system and customize it to whatever bigger games they have. So they could, test it out on something like this, and then because Bamco has a ton of different games they could do this with in the first place. So the way I look at it is I'm like, oh, well, you're not writing the program for just one game with that set audience. You're writing the program for all of it and just find out a way to make a skeleton that you can customize since you're a big company.
Yeah,
that's what
just
they need to
changing the
do.
rewards or whatever and how they do that.
Yeah, like as long as they just make a framework for it, then they can just go ahead and customize it to whichever game they're doing. And that's the way
Right.
I'd be looking at it. So yeah, I think that even if something has a smaller community or a small viewer base or whatever, like it's still combine that with every other game you have. If you make something that can fit all of them and just have different features turned on and off, and slowly add to it. I mean, just getting it started and getting there is going to be the biggest investment. And then is again once they branch it out though, should be fantastic. Just saying.
And especially with like free to play gotcha games and stuff, it's always daunting when it's been out for a couple of years, right? Because you had this huge catalog of things that you probably
Right.
won't have for a while. So like having those drops as an incentive and all that stuff would probably help them depending on what they could actually offer. And actually encourage more people to actually give the game a shot. All just for having like their Bamco account or whatever, like linked up to their Twitch and shit.
Yeah, that would be another thing too. You get all that linked and all that like mixed in. I mean, that's how you broaden your community in the first place, is connecting to stuff. Just saying, Bamco, get on it. But anyway, but other than the Borderlands thing, then there was yesterday. That was bad connection time, and then it all just finally culminated into bad 10 spin after bad 10 spin and my internet dying all at the same time, and I was just like, okay, I'm out. So I slept for like 15 hours. Apparently, I think I went to bed around
So
like
in
2
terms of the
a.m.
bad internet thing, like I had some bad stuff too, but apparently J Frost, I was listening in on his stream earlier today. He was playing Bad Operation 2. Apparently he was having it rough
Yeah, so
as
something
well. So I
happened
wonder
last night.
if it was just something big overall.
a lot of East Coast people were out last night as far as internet wise. There was a couple of
That's
tweets I
interesting, yeah.
seen around like between midnight and 3 a.m. from people who were just playing games that either stream or you know, when their off time is at night when they're playing with friends or whatever, and they were just
Yeah,
like,
and their shit were just
they're
like
just like,
going
oh,
down.
I don't know if anybody else is playing, but I couldn't even stream if I wanted to right now. You know, kind of comments. So I was just like, oof. So I guess it's just an East Coast thing for the most part, but yeah, there was that, and then but we did finish a game of Monster Prom. So we
That was
got
fun.
that done. That was fun. I will say I'm glad I found a character that I could do the like Hisoka voice from like Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah. I saw like the crazy colorful dude and I was like, "Oh yeah, here we go. We're going to go creepy Hisoka voice. Let's go for it."
Somebody
was
sounds like
great.
in English or something, I guess.
Yeah, like the whole scene where he's like,
Okay.
"Oh, gone, yes," you know, kind of thing.
Sorry, I don't watch dubs, so I don't.
Oof.
Emblem's a
I know
filthy
what scene you're
weeb
talking
and
about.
literally even changed his thing for remake to Japanese voices and just completely ignored the English. Which is why
Bro.
every time someone came from my history into mine, it's like, "Do you have your shit set to English?" It's like, "Oh yeah, you do." Huh? I haven't heard this yet.
That's good.
Hey, the Japanese subtitles are really good. Or the Japanese audio is really good. Okay.
I mean, they're both pretty awesome. I'm a fan. I like that we're getting like good dubs now, or then you get the fantastically
Yeah,
awful
especially
dubs.
compared to like some of the Advent Children stuff or just like typical 2000 aughts like English dubbing back in the day. They've definitely made strides since then.
Again, though, I think I've said this on here before, but if anybody gets a chance to watch Parasite the Maximum in English dub, is fantastically awful. But it's like it's like that, like it's good. It's on the spectrum of like, you know, like bad voice acting, good voice acting. So it's like over here on the good side, but it's just under it enough. And then it has some comical voices every now and then that it's just like
Can I take this seriously?
yeah, like again, my favorite one is the narrator voice that we've been doing essentially. Like one of the characters is like, "Dear God, this is horrible."
Wait, it actually sounds like that. That's very
Yeah,
impressive.
that's pretty much the guy's voice. Like, you know, it's not to spoil any of the show, but when bad things happen because of these, you know, things,
Essentially all the body horror and weird shit that
yeah,
goes
when the
on
body
in there,
horror, like the like principal character, I think is what it is like, "Dear God, this is horrible," and then like,
it's like, I'm sure it would be if you didn't sound so stupid.
and then the main character
There are
just has
monsters in the
these.
street. Everyone run.
Then like the main character Shinichi, like there's always the line. Obviously, it's, you know, like we make fun of this stuff all the time from like just what one-liners everybody says, but there's like the "You are Shinichi Izumi, right?" You know, there's that. It just sounds funny in the English dub for some reason.
Have you seen any sailors?
And yeah.
Oh my god.
and then like Shinichi himself will be like, "That's right," you know, just has these silly like
Outbursts for nothing.
outbursts, like, yeah, that bitch. Like it's fantastic, just some of the lines that he just shouts out of nowhere. So yeah, that's what I mean when it's like fantastically awful. So it's like good, but just that slight bit under good so that it's funny and comical at the same time. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so
We
Maxi
need
Boost.
to stop.
Maxi
Literally.
Boost. Maxi Boost. Let's go. We're on it. We on it.
Something Maxi Boost.
Yeah, yeah.
It sure was fun.
So yeah, I'll bring up your if it'll work here. But let me change the little topic thing, and then I'll get your footage up that I've got rolling right now. But yeah, Maxi Boost on though.
You said Inbon chat is woke now.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Why?
Tangent, I sleep. Inbon,
Yeah.
we Inbon, we woke.
Real shit?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Mbon. Wait, huh? Oh, they're talking about it.
What?
Somebody said Gundam. What?
Just go in there and be like, Mbon sucks, and then bring.
Okay, but
Oh my god.
overall, yeah, I kind of want it. Just saying.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm ready for that shit. Why I gotta wait till July?
I know, right?
Hopefully my network works with it, because I was having, and again, I've been trying to piece this together for a first impressions type thing, and I'm the only one who really had the issue, so I'm gonna try to make that as clear as possible. But my experience was really bad trying to do casuals. I would just get kicked out every time. Oof, and I just brought it up right when you lost. Emblem feels bad, man.
Oh damn. Oh, even on casuals, huh? So it wasn't just like customs.
Yeah, so if I was playing against the host, which in casual the case was either I was the host, I was with the host, or I was against the host. So every casual game, like I just couldn't play casuals at all. I mean, I would get through a game every now and then, just like I would get through a game even when Emblem was hosting or when Noobsama was hosting or anybody like that. So it would work, but it was like it still had the most of the, like 9 out of the 10 games I would crash, and then like that one game I would get through. And by the
I don't know,
way,
it's pretty good at making really clutch screenshots though. Like your disconnects. That's
Oh,
what you do
yeah.
on purpose. Like it would be like Epion bearing down on you for the kill, game loss, and it's just like, oh well, that
Doing
was
the, like,
almost bad. It's like to be
two-handed
continued moments,
sword.
man.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
I know one of the guys had a really good one where like you DC'd. It was literally like him going for the kill with a giant laser on crossbow. Like Cross is like literally just like floating there in the air, and it's like yeah, for real. Q roundabout. Holy crap. Wonder what's gonna happen here.
I'm gonna have to find one of those then and do that. I'll have to add that to it. That'd be great. Because I mean, yeah, there was so many of those. Like I remember I was Epion, like I was going for like the ult. I just hit ult on you, I believe it was, and I was just like, yes, I'm gonna cleave him in half with the giant sword of dumb.
Oh, dumb.
And then it just froze right when I was in the air. I was like, no, I was going to
Got
win
him.
this time.
This was my moment in the game.
You sliced the server in half.
Slice the
instead.
server in half. Like the Epion and the Shining Gundam both have
Just
swords of
cleave
like
your ISP in
server
half.
killing.
That G Gundam logo pops up and the game just can't take. It's like, damn, that's cool. And it's like,
Oh man,
Like your
but,
ISP's like, what the hell is this crazy shit going on here? Woo.
that's not my Gundam. Get out of here. The network test was pretty good though. Like I honestly think outside of Magnum shenanigans and the occasional hiccup though, like the game always felt pretty smooth to me, which
Really?
I liked a lot.
Oh yeah. I mean, again,
It was a breeze compared to how battle operation is most of the time.
oof. But yeah, pretty much. I do want to talk about that when we get into it here in a little bit on some of the server stuff. Because I was going to bring up clan matches at some point, just to kind of mention them, that they could be on the way. But yeah, like the server thing, other than just the weird thing with my ISP or whatever, who knows? That's probably what it is. So other than that, yeah, like the game worked great. Like there was so many good games, and yeah, other than just, and it would only really be the only big mess ups were when it would just fully hiccup and be like, yep, we're crashing, no big deal. So, but what do you guys think about all the suits and stuff? And there's a couple that's missing out of verses. Like I know the regular goof isn't in. So do we know if we're gonna get those?
We haven't really
DLC.
heard a lot of details for DLC yet, other than it probably will exist in some capacity. They were talking about, at least initially, like a really small number. We haven't heard much more about it since then, so hopefully we do. I wouldn't mind. getting a lot more of the versus stuff just so that it can be more caught up. And a lot of those smaller time like mook suits could have their place at low cost just to give people more stuff to mess with. Because I know what a lot of people are gonna say, especially if we do get DLC and it's finite. It's like, oh, this suit's bad though, and they don't want it because they don't want it to take up a slot. Same kind of shit that we get for Smash, right? That kind of mentality.
Fair
So
enough.
hopefully they do it in mass. Hopefully this is kind of like they're all the warriors kind of shit, like how Smash Ultimate was.
Yeah, I will say, you mentioned Smash. I saw the roster for Smash Ultimate here recently, and I'm just like, what am I looking at? That
Shit
is
is huge, dude.
what?
Like they were very adamant, and like most of the interviews we're pretty much like, yeah, we're just going all in for this one. It might never be this big again, but for right now, get ready. If you like this game, you'll definitely love this rendition.
Yeah,
So
it's
this Maxi Busan could very much be the same way for them if they want to go that route. I wouldn't doubt it. People have been anticipating it for a long time. Anyone who gives a shit about versus is probably gonna pick it up.
now one of the big things that I know a friend of mine was asking, and the big selling point for a couple of people I know is apparently there's going to be split screen.
Yeah, it's gonna be local going on. They were
So
talking about that in the old trailers.
yeah, that's
Chat's telling me right now too, by the way, that the network test was missing 3 suits. Like I guess the other ones were going to be the Montero, which is from Renki Senji, the
Mhm.
Zaku Amazing, and the Barbados Lupus Rex.
oh yeah, the Rex.
So the Amazing was
Yeah.
one of the DLC suits that they were announcing, though, wasn't it?
Well, maybe
I
it
thought
is
that had its
DLC,
own.
but
I thought it
I'm
was
not
one of the
sure.
because it had its own trailer when they were doing suit announcements.
Hmm.
Okay.
Maybe he meant it as like it's a DLC that's coming up, but I didn't know what they were, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely get in there with the Rex. Let's go.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are gonna snap that up once it actually drops.
But but yeah, the split screen was a big deal. I know versus that was like the thing that kind of just stopped a friend of mine from getting versus in general.
Yeah, well, not even
And
so much
then
split screen, but the fact that they have local network stuff, you can just do LAN because that was missing too.
yeah, so like that's a big deal.
Because let's be real, most people are gonna want their own screen. Like if you really can't, then I guess it's good that it's there, but like that's probably not going to be the norm
Hmm.
for
I
local
mean,
Is it
play.
horizontal or vertical split screen?
I think it's vertical, at least from what I saw in the trailer. I have to double check that video.
Gotcha.
I feel like they showed it in there.
I'll take either. But yeah, I know one of the big deals as far as like the split screen. I'm a big couch co-op guy, so I don't know. I miss the nostalgia of just sitting down and playing a game, at least in the same house. So I'll take, even if it's like local network, I'll take that sometimes. But so yeah, I've even been doing some GBO2 in the same house. Let's go. But where I've got remote play over here, somebody could be on the TV, I can be on the remote play. Works. No big
That's
deal.
the
And then I get to look over and see the difference in detail from remote play
Oh
to
my
the
god,
TV screen and be like, oh.
that shit's so pretty. Even though I'm not playing it.
Yeah, right.
Ow, my leg. No.
My eye.
What are your guys' takeaway like just from playing the game between Gundam Versus and Maxi Boost on?
Well, my experience with Versus was the same as this essentially. I just did a beta test with it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't planning on getting PS Plus or anything like that. So that was one of the big deals. And I felt about the same ish. I mean, feels good.
Yeah,
Now
I
that
hear
I
you
know what
there.
kind of game it
Yeah.
is, and now that I know that I'm playing more of a fighting game than I
Like,
am like, I mean, I guess Gundam versus Zeta kind of has some of the same stuff, I guess, but it's nowhere near as crazy like combo and
or
speed.
fast. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the big differences there. So, like, I've played Gundam versus Zeta, but then there's the just versus though, I was like, oh well, this will be cool, and I was like, I didn't realize that I was, what I was getting into at the time. So now I actually kind of went in
Mhm.
with like, oh, fighting game logic, cool. So this time when somebody would be like, and two, I had chat that could help and be like, do this combination of buttons, and I'm like, okay, does triangle equal B or does triangle equal A? What's C? Oh no, this is bad. I need a translator. Controller to 8-way run. What do we got? But yeah. And then so yeah, then pretty much though, because I couldn't remember, like that's what I was halfway on Xbox and halfway on like PlayStation when I did like Soul Calibur. So I was like, what buttons are what again? Oops.
It's just all like input mush at that point. Like,
Yeah.
and you intuitively you know, but trying to explain it to someone else or hearing someone try to tell you, it's like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So then I'm like, once I started figuring out that like, okay, triangle matches this and square matches that. Okay, cool. I've got everything synced up now. In my brain, I know what I'm hitting, I think. But yeah, the overall though, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what differences there were or are.
The
So I'm
bigger
kind of
difference
curious.
is the bigger differences is that you can't
Boost dive.
yeah, boost dive. I'm trying to remember what the actual term is. And then
That's
you don't
all.
have
That's all boost
strikers
dive.
anymore. Boost dive is essentially you would just force yourself down and you would just regain your boost over time. When you land, this time you actually have to just mind how long you're airborne or how much you're boosting before landing. It's just a lot more timing. You can't control it as much in this one, but people didn't like boost diving because it was giving them an extra thing to do and it was forcing them to land
Huh.
a lot more because it was technically more optimal, but it was also leaving them more open depending on how practiced they were at it, right?
So
And
then,
strikers were something that you could assign to a suit, and it was just its own separate list, as opposed to like suits in this game for maxi boost just have assists or they don't,
oh,
and
okay.
it's usually just relevant to their series. But some strikers were just more superior than others because you would unlock them over time. So now that's gone. That's entirely out.
Okay.
So it's the same game, but technically less, while also having more suits.
Well, with knowing that, I would say the striker thing, I do like that change going into this.
Mm.
Just being able to play this and not see it, and just kind of knowing some with the way you guys explained it. Yeah, I can see that being annoying because then you just, if some are better than others, then that just is like use these or don't use them at all kind of thing, kind of situation goes into play. And then I will say I did miss the boost, the down boosting. Because I was like, isn't there a way that I can boost toward the ground? I kept saying that.
Yeah.
Like, how do I get back down to the ground? I'm so high up, and like, so unless I had something
Just
that I
don't
could,
fly, lol.
yeah, pretty much. I would like, unless I was playing the GPO2 or like something that didn't have a way to melee down, essentially, then I would just stop trying to boost up into the air because I would get stuck in the air sometimes and be like, well, I guess I'm just falling now. Please don't hit me. Emblem,
Yeah, just
stop,
getting
please.
juggled at range, like, oh.
But yeah, the nuke on the GPO2 that was a ton of fun. Yes, please.
I didn't see anyone whip it out on the turn
Turn A.
A, and I'm a little surprised.
Magnum was trying to throw
Oh
it
yeah,
around.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
how do
I
I
was
come
like,
on?
well, the thing is with the turn A, you would have to go like this. You have to open the chest, pull it out. I got it now, and
Yeet.
throw. So like if you get hit any time during that whole animation, chest,
It's
pull
just like,
out,
nope.
look, and throw. Like there's just too much time between that, and then you would be like, I yeeted, and it's just a little blob, and then they're just like, I'm running away. See you. Have fun with your nuke that you just threw 2 feet from yourself. I'm dying. Pretty much. That was my experience with that one. But with the O2, I'm like shooting mode, nuke, nuke, ultimate move, nuke in the air, nuke on the ground, nuke again, nuke one more time, and then like was that you, Emblem, who was like, how are you getting all of these? There was somebody that was in
Maybe.
chat that was just like, how are you doing this? This is dumb. And I just found out that there's like if you time it just right, you'll have like an extra shot because your shooting boost will be going. so your reload speed comes back. You can do like 4 nukes in a row plus your ult, which shoots a nuke up in the air. So you can get like 5 nukes out.
Mushroom clouds everywhere, just like that.
Yeah, I'm just like,
No.
everyone
Magnum
dies.
started to fall out.
Have I introduced you to the orbs of death?
So yeah, that was a ton of fun. I'm
I was over
finally
here being
glad.
modest of big fucking lasers and magnums nuking like everything. That's why they made neuron jammers, man. You're the problem.
Well, there's another guy that was streaming this, Moonstone, that was talking about how this game just feels good to push buttons in and stuff.
Yeah, that
And
is
I can
true.
agree with that. Like, even if you really don't know what you're doing, just the stuff that you can make these dudes do is really
Oh, speaking of the
satisfying.
GPO2,
Was
Emblem's
he
getting in
playing
there with
Bale?
it.
Hmm?
Was he playing Bale?
No, he was, for the beginning, he was doing a lot of random.
Oh, you cut out.
Sorry, I just have to like make a
He's oh, here we
a
go.
side-handed salty comment because the Bale is just
Oh,
completely ridiculous.
well, no, I have to agree. Like trying to play Bell and combo and actually do like the what was it, BC8B combo or whatever,
Right.
where you just like charge somebody and then charge them up in the air and then charge forward and then charge up in the air
Oh,
and then
yeah.
charge forward and then charge up in the air, and like you just have them CC'd essentially for half a day and also damage the crap out of them with that. Like you could just do that over and over again, but like at one point I was like, okay, I'm doing all this combo. Come here, Emblem, haha, look what I've learned, and then the game would crash and then the game would start up again. And then I would like go do that to somebody else and be like, yeah, this feels kind of cool when it works. And then I was just like, then I started playing against a couple of people just losing horribly. And I'm like, no, okay, fine. I'm just going to start randomly hitting buttons. And I'm like, I won by just mashing everything. So that is a suit that definitely just felt like way too good for mashing, and knowing stuff just didn't feel as good. I don't
I
know.
want to turn me by spamming low kick the entire time. That's great.
So yeah, like it was kind of
That's definitely a suit that teaches you, like, forces you to learn keep away, though. And, like, aggressive keep away where you're not, like, trying to run, you're just trying to interrupt them constantly.
oh yeah.
The only scary thing is that like even if you beat the button spam, like Bale has good options outside of just spamming the same thing over and over again. Like it also has like cannons and like a stun, and it's just like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
It's already bad enough pushing them back, but as soon as you get somebody that like knows the other tools too, you're just like, what do I do?
yeah, that's the thing. So like again, when I say trying to do stuff, I mean trying to do stuff was worse than just like spamming and watching my suit kill somebody.
Push that button.
And then like, yeah, I would hate to see that in somebody who like, well, I mean, we did see a couple of people who knew. There was that one random group that just came in, the 2 duo that came in and was on one team. Like when they were in, they were just like,
And they were hopping lobbies too for a while. We saw them in
I'm
several
sure.
different iterations.
yeah, so like, and they would just always have bail, and it was just this gross thing, and you definitely knew that you could see that they were just doing more than just one combo spam or anything. It was
Yeah.
Real
it was
talk,
Those are
though,
just the
like,
pros noob smashing.
I think that kind of stuff, as much as I enjoy playing with you guys, I did enjoy being in casuals a lot more.
Those are
Just
cool.
because,
Yeah.
like, it's a lot more impersonal. Some of those guys get shuffled around. They can't just go in together.
I will say though,
Um,
I did kind of, I think Emblem kind of mentioned this too, but going from like what we were doing and then going and actually having a casual, for me that actually worked. When it would actually work and wouldn't crash, I felt like the training weights just came off all of a sudden compared to playing. I mean, every now and then you'd get something a little more intense, but
Sweaty.
yeah, but like for the most part, the training weights felt like they came off going into that.
And
And
I think that's the good thing, is just to not have the concentrated sweat. Like, unless you know those people, then like fuck those dudes.
pretty much.
Because you're just gonna wear yourself out for nothing.
But yeah, overall though, really fun game. I'm definitely thinking about getting it, especially now since the streaming thing's a thing. And
We could have some good like match nights for that too once it comes out.
yeah, that'd be kind
I'd
of
be
cool.
hyped for
That
that.
would be interesting.
It's just good that like as a group of people who actually do Gundam broadcasting, we have more stuff to broadcast. Put
Yeah,
it that
right.
way.
Yeah, that is true.
At least more games that are like new, and not just
Yeah, we're not
yeah.
having to go on the vintage category all the time.
Not that we don't just play a ton of just battle operation regardless, but yeah. I want to occasionally dust
Yeah.
off my PS3 and play Crossfire or Target Inside or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm. And like I was joking that a lot of people will probably fall off Battle Operation 2, and there was an influx during the network test, but it's just like this is more accessible, and it's just for being free and the pacing being a little different and all that. For as many people who are like lamenting not having their Wing Gundams and Barbitoses, it's just more Gundam,
Right.
and you don't have to have like PS Plus and all that shit. So it's just got a smaller like entry
I mean,
fee, I
I've
guess.
always got my Wing Gundam and Barbatos, guys. No big deal.
Yeah, whenever they ask Magnum where it is, it's like, oh, they're here in my living room.
I just want to get some figures just to do that later. Say no more, fam. I got you.
I will say though, I still need to paint that one one day. It will happen one day. Might be 3 years from now, but one day I will paint that thing. Those stickers are just obnoxious.
Those stickers in general are really annoying.
Yeah, most of the time. But I mean, these though, I mean, literally the sticker for that back little dab fin blade or whatever that the Lupus Rex has, like literally the sticker's like this long, and it's a fold over sticker that like wraps around the top or whatever. It's just this
Oh,
huge
no.
sticker that's like just looks awful. I'm like, I don't even want to put that on that thing.
I think that's why most people just kind of ignore some of those depending on the quality. It's just like, fuck this shit. I'll just do it by hand.
Yeah, like the shiny eyes and stuff like that. Now those stickers are fine because normally they're behind another piece of plastic that holds it in place and everything else. But this, ugh. And then as soon as if they ever start peeling or anything, then it just looks all kinds of bad.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get in there with that paint one day. But so yeah, Maxi Boost on. Really fun. Kind of missed the
Definitely
game.
ready for July. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, by the way, if anybody hasn't played any of the verses like this, just Gundam verses or didn't get into the beta, I would kind of compare it to playing something like almost like a Marvel versus Capcom kind of thing, where you're just kind of button mashing and having fun. That makes sense. Like I feel like,
And yet at the same time, you can have like half a minute combos keeping you in the air with like several characters being tagged in it at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
MVC2s and some of those other versus games are pretty disgusting for stuff like that. So they definitely have a pretty high skill cap.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I'm just talking about more of like just the silly go have fun button mash kind of thing. Like
You think Smash might be a better example?
Smash might be that might be a better example. I was trying to think more of like, I don't know, I felt like there's a
Until
lot
you
of
get bumped out
combos
to
in
the edge of the
this.
screen and just spiked for fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I feel like there's a lot of combos in this though. That's what I was just trying to think of, something like that you could just button mash and be like, oh, I did cool
Whoa,
things.
Smash got combos. You ever played DK? Or not DK, did he?
Fair enough. But then there's what else? I don't know. Maybe what's the Dragon Ball Fighter Z might be a pretty good example too. That was kind of fun just to button mash in. But like something like Soul Calibur, I know I mentioned that. Like I would not compare this to that. But maybe that's because I've gotten into the try hard of Soul Calibur before, so
I think that's the
maybe
thing,
it's
right?
lost
Like
on me now.
you're past that threshold of just dicking around. Like you've actually gotten some nuance in that game, so you understand like how gross it can be when you're actually like decent at it.
Yeah. So maybe the magic of button mashing in Soul Calibur is just lost on me now. But either way, definitely a fun game. Lots of fun to be had. So, and I might actually get PS Plus because of this.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need PS Plus when the game actually comes
Yeah,
out tomorrow,
probably
won't
should
we?
probably
Oof.
should get on that.
Luckily, that's why I was about to say. Luckily, it comes out here in a little bit because that way I can go ahead and start saving for this now.
Yeah, you're not missing much for the May free games. They're pretty goofy unless you like city simulators or like farm sims.
Yeah, that is one thing that pretty much for the most part. What else other than this? There's like one other game that I think I heard that I was like, ooh, I kind of want that, but until like
They've
October or
been trying
something.
to stand Uncharted really hard, and I'm like, I get that that's a good series. I just don't give a shit.
Yeah, they gave away the Nathan Drake collection for the Epidemic
Oh yeah,
along with Journey.
Even though it was already on like PS Plus and all this other shit, like several different collections for that series. It's like, bro, give it up. I didn't want it then. I don't want it now.
But
I
Nathan Drake,
appreciate
oh my
your.
god. His racing look, the racing game comes out in like a
Oh
year,
my god,
okay?
stop.
oh my gosh.
No.
Naughty
Uh,
Dog. Naughty Dog has to end a series of a racing game.
it's just their way.
I know. That's how
Yeah,
they do.
speaking of that, Last of Us 2 is another thing, but again, that's like December
Oh,
something.
they got that leak that happened
Oh yeah, and they had
earlier.
that leak.
That game pushed out to like what?
Oh wait, no,
Almost the end
that's
of
actually
summer? So
coming.
crazy. Oh, to June.
Yeah,
Yeah, they pushed it to June.
it's June now. Actually, never mind. Yeah, huh? That's a lot sooner than I thought. Okay, but yeah, but Max Boost on. Woo! Definitely looking forward to it. So, anything else from you
Yeah, you
guys?
probably won't have to worry about any other dramatics like that from Maxi Boost on, I wouldn't assume. So don't sweat it. Just get in there and have some fun.
Oh yeah.
Now we can actually talk about battle operation
Yeah, battle
like
operation time.
an hour in.
No big deal.
So normal podcast, Gustav, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Even though we're pretty much past the length of a normal podcast.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hey, I've heard how long episodes of Joe Rogan's podcast are. We're doing all right.
Oh boy. Yeesh.
I mean, like every one of his is like 2 hours plus. So there are some of those podcast groups that do like 8-hour podcasts per podcast. So yeah.
It's like, bro, I got shit to do. I can't be there for that long.
Sorry, guys.
I wonder
I've
how
got a
many.
life.
I mean, I know people do like I'll listen to stuff like while I'm editing videos and stuff. I'll be like listening to one
Mhm.
video here so I can hear the audio from this direction and then hear it from the TV at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I'll do that kind of stuff because watching and editing is literally the same amount of time, if not more, as whatever length of video you've got in front of you. So we'd be here for like 6 hours, no big deal. And I mean, at that point, I get it. I'll have like that on, then I'll be like, okay, time to go do the laundry or whatever, and kind of pause it or come back and forth. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's too many people who are there watching for 6 to 8 hours, and that being their only thing they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
I
that.
say
I feel
hope
like
not.
that stuff you listen to like on the road trips or maybe like if you're doing something else or whatever. I'll definitely tell. That's how people treat streams sometimes. Just have it as background noise while they're doing
Mhm.
something else. Kind
Like,
of like
it's
this
nice that we have some
podcast.
visual aids because I think it's just kind of part of the course for like regular podcasts to do. But
Yeah.
like we don't have a lot of visual stuff going on, so it's probably for the best.
Okay. So seventh Gundam. Yeah.
Full armor 7th. I wonder if we'll get the regular. Like I'm already thinking ahead to that. But this thing is insane.
Yeah. I won it yesterday, but sadly did not.
Just roll, lol.
We will be.
Just
We
put
will
more
be. I've
money in
almost
the
got. I've
game.
almost got another 10 spin. Like I will have 90 tokens in. We'll see if I get even a like suit. So that'll be. I think I've got 22 tokens after the nice little 9 boost. So got like 3 days maybe. Hopefully a gold box gives me some tokens. and then yeah, so we'll be doing a roll here on the weekend or at least by Monday, and then everything else will be single spins on the 7th to see if we can get it. But
If you snag a plant, let me know and I'll trade you.
for real though, man, I wish that would be kind of an
Still looking
interesting
for
thing.
still got my fingers crossed for a Mark II for that 11th bonus.
Now, before we get into it, I'll just say this right now: this is a support. It is a 600, but so is the MLRS.
And so you'd be hard pressed to notice that it's a support.
And the cool support things, I like it, but
It's not a transformable suit.
not a transformable suit. Yep, that's it. So
Honestly, like I'm still kind of thinking if they won't give supports a dodge roll, they may not give them a transform, but we'll have to see. Well, outside of tanks, I guess.
yeah, so that's kind of an interesting one.
Outside of the methods, maybe? I don't know.
But yeah, so Emblem, you got it.
I do, yeah. I got some gameplay on screen right now.
There we go.
Oh.
So I'll pull that up. So that cannon, I got hit by it yesterday.
It chonks, man.
Dude, it's like a Unit 4 beam
Oh yeah,
on
support
the
NDL,
shoulder.
man.
What in the world? Let's go.
Like legit, if they let you just have it as a cannon, like on your shoulder, shit's insane.
Really, get me
Should
in
also
there.
be worthy of mentioning that the cannon does have its own defensive skill, like kind of like how leg buffer and stuff works. The cannon has a special like damage reducing ability on it as well.
That's
That
crazy.
is crazy.
Definitely needs it though, because you're gonna be sitting there
That
charging that thing for
downswing
a
though is
hot
quick.
minute.
Oh yeah, the little just like kind of
Does it have balancer?
dive thing. It does have balancer. There's balancer and force injection.
Priority is probably pretty low, but
Yeah, it's 1.
We'll be getting into that. We actually can see our stats now. Yeah.
yeah.
Now here's something that's
No,
very
no more
interesting.
button to the JP wiki for everything.
Spoiler on one of the stats that's I want to talk about though, but the full armor Thunderbolt, I'm calling some BS or they fixed it. What I'm saying. I think I might have found something. Because we commented
wrong?
on its turning speed. Did you know its turning speed is faster than pretty much any other space suit at that point?
We're just kind
They
of
may
goofy.
be what may be going on there is that they have the turn speed base and then shields take away from it, but it may not be included in the raw stats.
That
Maybe.
might be it.
That may also be a glitch though, because I don't feel like you
Could also be a
get that much
glitch.
faster
Yeah, like it's faster than
when you
the
get those shields off.
it's yeah, I was gonna say it feels like well, it feels like molasses, dude. But like the like it's apparently faster than the GPO1 FB's turn rate, and I'm like, I'm calling some BS. So, or it's the same, but I've got a rotation thing on it, so it's faster. And yeah, like I
Yeah,
was, I was
that
like,
seems unlikely.
yeah. So in the little update video I did, I finally got that up too. As soon as I got up, so that was about like 2 hours ago. No big deal. But so I finally put that up, and like the last thing I noticed, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we can see the full armor's turning. What? It's 72. I'm calling some BS. So yeah. So before we get into all the stats and whatnot, you can see turning speed, and I'm calling some BS there on the full armor Thunderbolt. It does not turn that fast. There is something wrong there. Dude, those missiles come out nice.
Yeah, they're fast.
Like, oh, and then it has the. I didn't know it had the beam spray. I don't think they showed the beam spray in the video. They have a good reload time. Looks like too on those missiles.
Yeah, they come in pretty quick.
How long till a
Honestly,
stagger on the beam spray?
I don't know if it does. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, I learned that the
The
detectors.
spotters
Oh, there it
normally do,
goes.
so I wonder.
It's like you have to go all the way through. It's almost the entire clip.
I think the detector, now this could have been lag and I missed a shot or I hit a shield, but I'm pretty sure the detector actually can't get a stagger with its little shoulder essentially beam
Yeah, I
spray
don't
gun.
think it can. It's usually just there to try to finish off stuff if you don't have anything else up.
It definitely is
I
point
kind of
damage.
wonder.
Which is fine because the detector chunks,
I
it
was gonna
has so much
say,
other
like,
stuff in the
it has
meantime.
yeah,
Bully.
if that beam spray, like yeah, I can bully a Pixie, I can bully a Gan. I mean, if I can do that with a detector, then it needs to have one of its weapons be, just there to finish stuff off and that be it. Like, if that also chunked, then it would just be broken.
Yeah, and chat mentioned a good little 1-2 punch with beam rifle shot into a wrist grenade launch.
Mhm.
Will stun a target as well, so you can you don't really necessarily need to rely on a full charge. You just kind of set yourself up almost.
Oh, it has that grenade too. Ooh.
They hit pretty hard. Like I almost wonder in a scenario where you knock somebody on the ground if it'd be better to light them up with the volley or just do their normal missile. Like you don't have a ton of time because the grenades hit harder, but you have less. Um, so we kind of that's how I play around and see which one's better. Like it seems like you might be the neat or the leg grenades because they come out really quick, but it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good, and then its beam. Like, the example I had to go on was I got hit by one, and I thought it was a Unit 4 that hit
Hmm.
me, and I just died right at the beginning of the game when we were doing the mix-up.
All right.
And then before I DC'd, I had 26,500 health in a Zaku cannon level 1 because mix-up is kind of silly now. Um, but yeah. And then from 26,500 health, I got chunked by one down to 11,000, I think 900. So it's 15,000 damage. I mean, yes, to a Zaku cannon level 1, but I mean, that's still mitigated a little bit, That's a few percentage mitigation. So 15,000 damage. So what are you hitting on, like, now that we can, yeah, the person was laying down too, so let's see.
One day. Sorry, give me 20 seconds.
Oh, no.
Do 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 do.
I didn't reach the grandpa Gundam all the way in the back. I think I landed the shot where it was should have hit into. But when I was in earlier, it was like 10K on the support and like 15 on the general.
That is gross, dude.
But you can redline general units with that beam. It's pretty silly.
Yeah, like that's better than the Unit 4 beam. Oh. Okay, I want this even more now. Here's a question. When you aim down your sights, can you still have radar with this thing?
I don't think it's there now.
No, okay. But yeah.
Probably even has more melee damage than the Barzam.
Now that's a big oof.
I always want an X-ray Barzam.
But yeah, so what do we think about the suit? I'm salivating over here right now. I want it. I want it now. I can use this in my life.
I
It
mean, anyone
seems
who's
like
been waiting,
right.
Oh, I know there's been a lot of people that's been saying this suit for a long time.
not even just a suit, but just like a high cost support, like this is definitely the
Mm.
answer in a lot
Yeah.
of respects.
Well, this is a good alternative to the MLRS, I think. Like the Jaeger is fine. Like right now, 600 suits that we have, right? Or even 550.
Mhm.
The
I would probably
Jaeger,
say it's a good alternative to the Jaeger, honestly. Like the MLRS does stuff that Full Armor 7 Gundam just won't be able to do.
oh, well,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that. But I'm just saying, like, the overall, out of our choices that I would
mhm.
say are good at 550 right now, which is pretty much all the options we mostly have, except for the Zommel. That thing's just big.
It's almost in a league of its own.
Yeah. So like if you're gonna do the Jaeger, this might be a better. Just kind of curious to know if it actually does have better damage output than say the Jaeger. Um,
I feel like it should. You have more options. You have more damage options than the Jaeger does just by default. I don't know. It'd be interesting. The multi-shot beams might be a little easier to hit with. I don't know.
maybe it's just the thing is that you got to manage your heat if you want to get the big numbers out.
Mhm.
So that's the big thing with the Jaeger. And then, I mean, then you got the nice big. I'm firing my laser cannon on this thing, which is just gross.
It's hella situational though, like, with how long it takes to set up, it's not even like it takes more time than the,
Unit fours.
MBL on the
Yeah.
Unit 4. So, it's almost just like if you've got the time, like, maybe, like, after a team wipe or at the beginning of a game kinda thing, but don't just sit there for your thumb up your gun waiting for somebody to walk down your hallway or something. If you're waiting a little bit longer than you planned.
That is gross though. That damages. Oh my. Ugh.
Yeah, I was always scared of supports getting something like this, honestly, just in general. Like, it seems like the damage is pretty neutered, when it's on a raid, but, I mean, still, it's, uh, it's still pretty terrifying
Yeah, they either
just for
lower the
general players, though.
damage or they, if it has ammo, then they lower the ammo to like nothing. Like look at the G line assault. Like it's got its cannon, but there's only 3 shots, and then you're like, okay, got to reload. Whereas any other cannon that pretty much uses the same type of cannon is like, here's 8 to 10 shots, no big deal.
It's fine. It'll be
Yeah, I think it's fine right now too. With how long the cooldown is and how long it takes to charge,
Oh yeah,
having a big FU cannon, that honestly in some cases, if if you notice it happening, you can either force the person to reposition or to just literally out of the fight,
yeah.
um, with a charge, trying to wait for something to happen. Like there are trade-offs for it to make it kind of okay, I think.
And then it looks like it has more weapons than I thought because I'm pretty sure the video only showed its main beam, that it had the cannon and that it had just a downswing. Oh yeah, and its leg missiles. That was it. It didn't show the little arm grenades or the arm beam.
Yeah. So
So
it's
it's got a lot of
it's
options
got
for
a few
sure.
options. And I'll say just messing with it, it feels like it feels kind of like a support version of I call it Blue Gundam, but Gundam Unit 4.
yeah,
And but
basically like a
it's
mud
almost like
rock or
mixing with
something.
a few more options. Not so much like a mud rock, but more like maybe more along the lines of like a hybrid because it feels Dom Barrage like because you have the missiles and
Yeah.
stuff to follow up with.
The
Um,
Mudrock has more immediate stopping power still.
The
Like
other
it
one I
still
was
has
thinking
its place because of that.
was like a support version of, how about this? The Unit 4 mixed with the Pale Rider Heavy Arms.
that's a good thing. Whatever that Zaku is at low cost that has the leg
The
rockets.
desert
Um,
oh
Heavy
the
yeah,
arms.
the Desert Zaku or Zaku
mm,
Heavy Arms. Yeah, that one kind of comes to mind a little bit with it, mainly just because it's kind of like a setup into I guess depending on the range, rocket spam or even just kind of like a melee. It seems like you're going to be with this suit. You're going to be with your front line, helping with like harass and poke. And because you have balancer and stuff like that, you're essentially just a general. Honestly, in some cases, like this would be a support that I think you could say run MLRS or something and have a secondary support as the full armor seventh, and they would just augment your front line or your poke line.
Yeah,
It seems pretty good in that regard
that's pretty legit.
because I don't think you're trading off too much besides not having a dodge. Oh, you don't have a dodge roll, I guess. So you don't want to be like front, but maybe just like supplementing your team as they push damage in. Whenever your pokes connect, they just hit like harder
The
because you're
typical mid
support.
to long range kind of support. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say mid to close, but yeah, you can cover all the ranges pretty well. And every now and then, you use your big fuck off cannon and murder everything.
But yeah, I definitely want this thing. Now seeing that it has all those extra weapons, I'm like,
Mhm.
I want it even more now. Holy crap. Because what is that? The one, two, counting the beam saber, 3, 4, 5, 6 weapons.
Beam rifle, beam saber, leg rockets, arm gun, beam.
Arm
Yeah, six
grenade. Yeah,
weapons.
that's pretty nice. And it's not like the sense of assault gun tank where some of your weapons are useless. Get out of here with that flamethrower, or it's not leg rockets. For real though, its leg rockets are just like pew 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 pew. And like, get that out of here.
Yeah, like
just
rocket
use the
systems should
like.
never be that slow in this game. Like that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, well, and the thing is that not only are they slow and don't do much damage, but the stagger rate's not there or anything. Like, there's no real use for those at all, and it's just like I have them here for some reason. And then you
For
just
some
use the
reason.
stealth grenade, and then cannon, maybe your then your machine gun. Then if you're in tank mode, you use your like um, butt bombs. They're pretty nice for taking people to a knee. Get used to it. But yeah, looks pretty good. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing right now. Canadian with the when a whole team dies, then you start charging the cannon, or like right at the beginning when you can get there to a perch and set up real quick.
Hey, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree.
So because otherwise, yeah, you're probably if it didn't do as much damage as what it did, it'd probably be a damage loss to sit there and charge for 3 days. But I like me some big cannons, big beams. I can definitely get in there with that. That's one
Giant
thing
lasers, America.
I was gonna say. Giant lasers. Speaking of and beyond and giant lasers, the endless waltz, wing zero. Oh, now you want to say nuke the map? Like that thing's ultimate. You just fly way up in the air and you just literally shoot like the middle of the map and like blow up the entire thing. Pretty much the same scene from the movie kind of deal. So
Right, makes sense.
so yeah, you every time you say giant laser, I meant to try to get that in a game with you and be like, "Hey, Emblem, here's my giant laser," and you just see a wall of damage come at you that you pretty much can't avoid unless you're like in the corners of the map. That is kind of gross. But so yeah, big lasers, lots of damage. I like it. Any other thoughts on it?
I mean, I
It has
definitely do
space
want one too.
specialization.
Oh, it does.
Really?
Yeah, it has space specialization.
Kind of
I was
interesting.
gonna say I would
So
hope so, considering the way it looks. Like I was saying before, but I'm really surprised that it can even be on ground, just because of how ridiculously designed and like all the other doodads and shit on its back.
It is
right, how
true.
bulky it is and stuff.
Now I just gotta have the
Support.
04 be able to do it.
Yeah, for sure. But it doesn't seem bad. I would say anybody that like suits like the Jaeger or full armor G line, um, ground or desert, not desert Gogoog, ground Gogoog. What's the support one? I think it's ground Gogoog. Um, it's the one with the sniper that has a sniper
Oh,
rifle.
desert.
No, the
Well,
desert
yeah, it
Gogoog's
is
the
ground
raid,
go
right?
goo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
ground go goo.
ground
Right.
type. Yes, the
I'm
go
thinking
ground
about
type.
the V2 because it also has the blue version too.
Like anybody that likes those, not really like, if you don't like the cannon style supports, so like gun cannon, GM cannon 2, stuff like that. You're more of like you pretty much just want to play a blue that's also a support. Like I think this one plays a good supplementary role to the blue line. You wouldn't be down a person by having this guy in the front.
I'd say at low
You just have to
cost.
be mindful.
You said heavy, the Zaku heavy arms. I think, yeah, looking at it, it's kind of like that. There's well, you still have to charge its main weapon, but still,
Mhm.
like if you played it as like an MMP80 kind of heavy arms, then this would probably fit your style if you don't mind beam weapons. Looks like so.
Right. But it's pretty cool. I don't think it's terrible. Like, I don't think it's a bad mobile suit by any means. It'll help supports, like, so any a good support player, or anyone that maybe just has like general like play knowledge, will be able to play really good keep away with this mobile suit. So I think I should like it.
Real quick, if you want to go ahead and throw off some of the stat changes. we can go ahead and hop into all the new stuff.
Yeah,
And
sure
then I'll
thing.
bring that up on the thing. But if you want to show it like in game, though, some of the stat changes and stuff,
No, I gotcha.
I'm
I'm
gonna
pulling it up right now.
caffeine OP. So I'll be right back. Yeet.
Let's see. This will be level
Yeah.
1 version.
I got my first run in with the new Dom Tropical. Not bad.
Yeah, it seems interesting. That
Still only has
downswing.
one swing, but that downswing though.
Mhm.
Chunk in those knocks.
Like, I know it has tropical in the name, but it almost seems like a more melee oriented version, or more like traditional Dom style than the Tropin. But I don't know. That kind of plays like a normal Dom too.
Yeah, like
It's
it has
eventually
even. I
not
think it has even range slottage on it too.
Oh, really? I don't know what the
Have to
stats are.
look. Yeah, like long range it only has 3.
Are you talking about part slots or its
Yeah,
actual
part
stats?
slots.
Oh, okay. So,
Stats,
man,
they were both
that's
at like 16. It was like really balanced, but it was also relatively low.
interesting.
But you get 10. No, you get 11 close range out of the box to mess with in terms of the slots. So like right now, my ranged is at 20 and my melee strength's at 27, and yet I was doing some pretty good damage to stuff at 350. Not bad at all. You can also use the giant bazooka with cloth as an alternative to the regular giant. So higher power, less ammo, less range, but also a faster cooldown time and reload by comparison.
okay. So I can start bringing up the actual like the what they told us. But what have you guys said so far? Like,
We kind of just touched on the new Dom a little bit, but I've got the stats pulled up.
oh, okay. Here, let me swap cameras then. I think there we go. You went full screen. There it is. The oh, that's that's nice. That's a lot of skills, dude.
Also, the cracker
Yeah.
grenades are enhanced. That's interesting.
Oh, on the new Dom.
The tropical, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
tropical looks kind
didn't
of
even notice
interesting.
the waist cushioning.
Apparently, it has a Ina downswing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Everybody getting married now.
So yeah, on the website, I've got it pulled up on just the information page.
The new Dom.
No, not the new Dom. The here, let me go
Oh,
to
77?
Gustav's real quick to show the Dom off.
Oh, I can go into training. I was in a match earlier, but I was just looking
Yeah, I
at
guess
it.
we could. I
You
guess
want to
we
just
could
see the
talk about
stats,
the.
or
Well, here, yeah. Let's look at the
because
stats real quick.
we were gonna do the 7th though, right?
Well, yeah. Sorry, that's not what I was talking about when I said that, but I like this, so that's what we're doing now. Yeah. I was talking about actually going into the
Alrighty.
actual patch notes stuff, but we just showed off the stats for the 7th, and now let's do.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll put it on an equipment set too, so we can look at it raw. So 15 and 15 for the range strength and melee strength. Turning speed's 54, so kind of so there. Good speed on it though. 190 for the top speed. Thruster gauge is at 60. You can see some of the extra formatting and stuff that they did. A little bit more detail these days. And then, I don't know if anything else has had the cracker grenade enhanced. That might be something new just for this.
The
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know something has it. I just can't remember. Is it the?
Mm,
It might be the heavy
Isaac?
arms.
might be the
Heavy
heavy
arm.
arms. Okay.
Yeah. I'd
And
have
then
to look.
this has a giant bazooka with cloth as well as the regular giant bazooka as options.
Is that the only two main weapons that are two
Yep.
bazookas?
And then
Yeah,
the heat
gotcha.
saber is just all the way across. Only one swing.
Mm.
Doesn't have a combo on it. It has optimized cooling efficiency as well as an offense system on it. So it's gonna be kind of hard to stop this thing once it starts getting that Ina going.
Oh,
It's gonna be like
so
hard counter.
it has the little stagger resistance during melee.
Yep, reduces reaction when hit by
Oh
ranged
gosh,
attack during melee combat. So
that's
get ready
scary.
for people to be trying to eat really hard with this thing.
Yeah, I know for days.
For real
At
though.
least the easier you can slap it out of its downswing, but
Mm.
that would be kind of like a bad habit to have against this thing. So I'll do that all the time. Mm.
Yeah, you just got to get in, hope you have a tackle, or at least get away from it, because it still has to fight against its own momentum with that. So
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of
it
salty they gave that to a general.
it only has melee priority 2. It's not up to 3.
Mhm.
So you're still gonna be able to interrupt it once you get that tackle in, or just let it whiff past you and just smack them.
EV,
Especially if
stop
it
making
just
my
stabs in
raids into
place.
generals.
I am a little surprised that they didn't try to turn this into a raid, considering that the trope in itself is already a general.
Already a general, yeah, that's one thing that caught me off guard.
I think they would have been like, well, I'm not gonna get it because it's a raid. Like, I don't care. If I get it, I get it. But now that it's a general, it's like, oh, they
It'd
can
been a
run
pretty
this.
strong raid.
Be
Like
good about this.
stun. I'm pretty sure it has the second. You said it's a secondary machine gun too. Like man, that would have been sick.
Yeah, MMP80 and enhanced cracker grenades.
That would be
I think
gross.
it'd have been a disgusting raid.
Keep it general. Let me bully it.
Now let's switch this to a raid. It's got it could be one of the few raids that does giant bazooka with cloth too, right? Like we just have another one in there. Yeah, all right.
Okay, by the way, since do you have it right now? Go ahead and click on the grenade. I can't find what dude has. I've been trying to figure out what Zaku has the other grenade because I could have swore something already has that.
That's one way to find out. To the database.
Yes.
To the database. Yeah, not main weapon.
I wonder if that shows up in the database.
Can
Actually, it
you?
might not. I can't
Yeah, I was
remember.
gonna say I looked in the database. Can you not?
No, because it's for main
Oh yeah,
weapons,
that's right.
not sub weapon.
Okay, well back to my search through the Zaku's of time and history and stuff.
I'll put it in. I'll go into training with this. Let's see it moving around.
I haven't played against one yet, but I haven't had a chance to
Someone
really
in
play any matches yet today. But
someone in
it
chat
I
was
think
seems
talking about it.
pretty solid.
I think this one's configuration wise, I put it in naked, so just to be able to see what it does raw without anything on it.
What's the cost, Gustav?
Oh shit, yeah, 350.
300 and
It's
350.
still, yeah.
Oh, it's a 300 suit.
Yeah,
Man,
that's one of the scary things about it.
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Shit is
It
funny.
doesn't look that bad.
Hold up.
Okay. So yeah, while you're showing that off, I'm gonna look. But overall, it sounds pretty disgusting of the suit. Oh yeah,
yeah.
on its stats, did it have more
Yeah.
melee or more ranged, or was it kind of both?
They were balanced. It was 15-15.
Okay. So it's not like ranged like the Tropin. That's really interesting.
No, so it only has 3 long range slots and has 11 close range slots.
Would you say this is a pretty much a upgrade for the Dom itself? It seems like it. Like you lose a swing, but you have more options. Oh, but you lose your. Does
You
it? It
lose a
doesn't
swing and
enhance.
you don't have the beam spray, so you don't have an extra stun.
That is a bit tricky.
So you do
Maybe
have
not. That's a
pressure and you
variant.
can do some decent damage with that grenade, but you have to have time and distance to do those unless you just have a group in front of you.
Okay, I finally found it.
Yeah, losing that
Haimo
second
Zaku.
stun is a big deal. Okay.
So the Haimo Zaku has the enhanced cracker.
Okay.
Curiosity has been sated.
Yeah, there we go. I knew I wasn't crazy. Or at least not too crazy.
Shield.
But it doesn't seem bad. Like, do Do you have to quest up for it by chance, Gustav?
No, I'm in training right now.
I can pull up the missions real
See.
quick. I'm in the menu. Just flip back over.
Here, I got them up now.
There we go.
So in order to get it, you have to play 15 matches. Oh no. Defeat 2 enemy MS 14 times. Earn top personal score 3 times in battle. Deal 150,000 damage. Over time, just across multiple battles. Win 8 games. Get top score for any results 4 times. Score sorting into 10 battles. Sorting into 5 battles. These are all like individual missions, by the way, for anybody watching. And then win a battle 2 times. So
I said on
the
the
prizes vary.
video that
Mhm.
to get everything would probably be 15 to 30 games, probably. I'd say it would be a pretty good
At
estimate.
least 15, yeah.
4,000 on a fucking Zagok for that downswing. Oof.
Ooh.
I could see you doing this
And
within
that's
the
raw
15
too.
range.
That's without anything.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
could definitely do it within 15 range, but I'm just kind of saying like,
Oh yeah, you're just eyeballing. I was more just making
yeah,
a
with
observation.
like
I
the
think that's a
wins.
sweet mustache.
The wins is going to be the hardest thing, I think, out of all those.
3,000 on a gun cannon with that downswing too, raw.
I was actually thinking the 2 mobile suit things.
I mean, that's just two.
But I wonder if
That's
that's
just 2
across
kills.
a life. Well, is it across like one life,
I
or
thought it
is
was a
it just
game.
in general?
Yeah, one match.
Okay, but
Yeah,
just
one
a game,
match.
it's not too bad.
Yeah, so you have to get 2 kills a match for what, 14 matches or something like that.
Yeah, because the last one was 4
Mm-hmm.
per.
Okay,
They
yeah,
definitely
that's
made
not
us
too bad then.
hustle a lot harder for the gun tank too, but we also had more time for that.
Yeah, we had like a month, so this is only a week,
This
so
is
they're
literally a
pretty.
week.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to keep calling it the Tropin test type, but the tropical test type.
I would say call it the Tornadom because it's got, like I said, it got a
Tornado.
sick mustache.
Tornadom, there we go. Yes, it does.
Dapper AF, man.
Yeah.
Scale of look. Yep. Oh,
Got
because
the
of the
bull
power
hat.
fives. Look at that. A little antennae. It's a fancy boy.
Excuse me.
Okay, so yeah, it looks with its skills and stuff, it looks pretty sick. Gustav, I don't know if you want to back out and show the skills real quick because I had it on emblems while I AFK'd there. So we saw the skills and stuff for the 7th, but we did not see the Tropin or tropical test. Yeah, these names. Why?
Tropinical.
Oh man, I said I'd have to get when I refer to like the flight and the test type, I'd have to actually get them right now.
Okay.
Now I've got
Select
this
shock
problem.
absorber level 2. Emergency evasion system level 1. Special buffer level 1. High performance balancer level 1. High performance radar level 1. Interesting that they gave it that too. That was pretty cool. Offense system level 1 and optimized cooling efficiency level 1.
Yeah, that's
That's
kind of
all for the
gross.
level 1 test type.
It's kind of interesting though. Is the offense system on any generals, or is it the first general that has offense system?
I want to say
It might be the first.
one. The only ones I could think of that have it are the DS and the Gaplant off the top of my head. Is there a third raid?
Yeah,
that even
the
has it?
assault has it. G-line assault, and
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. Does it?
yeah,
I know it's explosive reactive armor. Does it?
no, it has offensive system. Yeah, that
Did they
was
add it? That's crazy. I don't remember it. I didn't think it had it.
here. Let's see. Let's confirm.
I see it. Has it been there the whole time? Or did they add it? I didn't even know it had
Ta-da.
it.
They might have I know when they were doing one round of buffs, they added something to it, but I couldn't remember if they upped like the level of something or. I remember it being in example notes. Actually, that's right. They were talking about the offense system actually working right. I think.
Now they can just get the offense system to the
Or
easy 8.
oh no,
Oh god.
oh no. How about let's
That's
not
interesting.
and say
Might
we
have to
did.
rely on my downswing a little bit more. I didn't realize I had that. on that skill. I didn't realize I had that skill. I feel like I get staggered out of my melees all the time when I play that. But I mean, I guess I haven't played it much recently. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of questioning if they didn't add it. Like, they might have added it because I know they were talking about we're doing some kind of buffs, and then I remember the offense system was there about the same time that they added the shield tackle deal. It was around that time, and I remember offense system was a thing being talked about. So I
Just
don't know
thinking
whether
about
it
the
was
offense
added
system being on
or
like the blue fruit.
oh no,
Ah.
get out of here.
Oh, the raids cried that day.
Yeah. But I think there's like maybe one other suit that has it. I just can't recall right now.
Well, at least the Trophin still has maneuver armor and
Does the Tetra
anti-blast
have it?
stabilizer by comparison. It actually doesn't have special luck buffer on the test type either. That's another thing. Yeah, it does not have the luck buffer as a Dom suit. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, that's it. The Rick Dom, the Cloud Dom. The Cloud Dom also has the offense system. I was like, I know something up here around 400 plus has it.
Oh, GH, yeah.
Yeah, the GH.
Okay.
The Cloud Dom. Stop that.
Guts,
Gatsu.
Guts Dom, Cloud Dom, you know. I showed that suit to a friend of mine. He's like, "Okay, where do I download this?" He may or may not be a Cloud fan. I think he was already downloading it beforehand, but that's my headcanon of what happened.
Sealed the
Just
deal.
sealed the deal.
Yeah, pretty much. His name may or not include Omni Slash.
Nah.
Just saying. Only misspelled.
Well, there's your hint, huh?
But yeah, so yeah, I think that's it though that has offense system. Because I didn't think it was the GH. I thought it was something else, but yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah, it has offense system for the GH and also fucking power accelerator.
Yeah. Oh, do they actually wait? Is it on the okay, no, never mind. Man, they need to give that to like the Shiki or something. The Shiki just needs more tools, dude.
They could just give it to the slave wraith that needs something else to do.
By the way, I will find out today if I like the Shiki or not.
Hmm.
After this, we'll be going into a game and I will try out the Shiki with the shrapnel bazooka. Finally figure out if I like it or not. And confirm, I do like the Rick Diaz with the shrapnel bazooka. Oh my gosh, yes. It just makes me want the Barzam even more now. Just saying.
Yeah, the Barzan has
That's
been
pretty
fun.
cool.
Like, yeah, I can clap with the Rick Diaz now. So.
Yep, 58 ranged with all those parts on.
So I'm not as salty as I was yesterday, but yeah, I went ahead and just went in just to try shooting in the trial thing. Because I was like, yeah, that'll take less than 3 minutes. Let's go. So I did that before I did anything else today, and I was like, I like this suit. Okay. So I have yet to try the trial to see if I could beat my time on with like the cheeky or something. But
Yeah, that was the other update. Didn't update the rewards. Got those.
oh yeah, I might try to show that. Actually, if it's on your stuff right now, Gustav, I don't know if you want to pull that up, but I heard last
Wait, what do
night
you mean?
somebody say something about the that is there a ladder now? Did they actually put in the ladder? Okay, so the
Oh, like the
rankings,
leaderboards? Yeah.
yeah, I'm not seeing them. Like the rankings still blurred out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the leaderboards were
Unclear.
put in. Like I mentioned that I heard it yesterday said somewhere while we were playing. I don't know who said it, but then I went ahead and said, but there might be leaderboards, and I meant to check it before I ended the
True.
video, but I didn't. But I'm not seeing it anywhere here in the update. And then like
Like
they're
for
the
ranked.
well the PVE they're
Yeah.
gonna put in a
They
leaderboards for the
separated
PVE.
single
Oh,
player and
right. Okay.
multiplayer into categories. So when you hit mission sortie now,
No, that was already
Whereas-
like that. Yeah, you had to choose single player or multiplayer. But what they did add though is when you get done, and this is for single player. When you get done, you can just hit retry rather than having to back out and go back in. Just retry after finishing. So if you have possibly not a scuffed run and you're like, oh my gosh, I could beat my time by like 1 second. I'm almost there. And then you slightly mess up instead of being like, did I mess up? And they'd be like, oh, I messed up. So then you got to load out and then load back in, select single player, select the suit, select the, now you can just be like, retry.
retry.
So, and they're going to put in a retry feature in for multiplayer as well, which hopefully will allow you to restart as well, which was one of the big differences. But, yeah, we can go ahead and hop into the notes now if you guys want to.
Sure, sounds good.
Okie dokie.
I forgot to type in tropical Dom for the subject. My bad. Oh well. Who knows? Maybe I can edit that in post. Maybe. We'll see.
Any powers OP.
Well, at this time, knock on wood, we've there we go. Thank you.
Got you.
We haven't dropped frames too bad yet. The connection's been unstable like the entire time. It's been yellow and red, but I don't think we've actually had a proper drop. So I might not have
Frames
to
are
edit.
overrated.
Apparently, it's saying I've dropped 0 frames though too, which is the interesting
OP.
part. I'm just like, what? How is this even? I'm about ready to, like, when I go to actually upload the video, I'll look and I'll be like, oh, we actually dropped like 1,700 times and my connection was horrible. Oh no, what a surprise. Okay, so patch notes and I can bring this up. So here, if we want to go ahead and skip to something that's not as intense, do we want to talk about the 10 spin real quick? The special banner that they have up, the
Sure.
3-step.
Yeah, sounds good.
So you can get 10 really awesome suits. There's definitely not a bad suit there. So sorry for my lackluster reaction of getting the Rick Diaz and the Hyakushiki, but after you get nothing but weapons and stuff and repeats and yeah, it's just lots of pain. And I was just like, please, after all that, give me the MLRS level 2. Come on. And no, it
But
gave
I'd
me the
also
Rick
say,
Diaz.
most importantly, before we get too far in, those suits are good is a thing, but I'm sure I want to know what suits, right?
Yes, yes.
You get the level 1 Mark II, the level 1 Rick Diaz. Well, you have the chance to get one of these suits at the end of a 10 pull. Level 1 Hyakushiki, level 1 Super Gundam, level 2 GPO1, level 2 GPO2 Beam Bazooka, level 2 GPO2 MLRS, level 1 Stamen, level 2 Gerber Tetra, and level 2 Zeong.
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, again, if you don't like space, there's not really a bad space option. And I'd honestly say probably the 2 weakest suits there is probably the Tetra and maybe the Shiki. But, I mean, they're still really good. I mean, if you play Raid, so, I mean, obviously I'm not probably the best one to answer that, but I feel like the Shiki is solid, especially now that it has 2 dodge rolls, and the Tetra, I feel like it needs one more step up before it's up there as well. But I think the Shiki might be in a decent spot now. What do you think, Emblem?
I think it'd be nice to see GPO4 there.
Oh, that would actually be kind of cool is to see the 4 in the mix. I don't know. I prefer the Super over the 04. But either way, it's still a good spacesuit. It's still great support.
Mhm.
Like any of
Yeah, I
those.
think they're trying to stick a little bit closer to just doing Zeta stuff because it's the new shit.
But yeah, like any of those suits are top tier. So like you can, and again, a lot of those being 600s rather than just 550s is nice. So like the Xeon level 2, that's already a gross suit. Like for the level 1, if you just want to smash 600 space, there you go. Just, you don't have legs. Just fly around with a giant white diaper. No big deal. Slaughtering everybody. But or your white dress or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I mean, and it's 11th box. It's a separate 11th spin that happens, and it's one of those 10 suits. So it's essentially an 11 spin with one guaranteed something really good. So worst case is you get a lot of tickets and a lot of research. I mean, that's literally the worst case scenario, I guess, is not getting something new.
Yeah,
So
including the last suit. I mean, if you already have a lot of those suits, it may not be as good for you either, depending on what your mobile suit roster is.
that is true. I mean, for me, it's literally I have, well, now I have 4 of them, but literally it was 8 boxes out of the 10 there that it could have gave me something good. So I had 8 really good options, and then or 8 good options, and like what is that? The Xeon, any of the GPO2s, and I mean honestly, I guess the Rick Diaz and the Shiki were the other 2 that I would have wanted. So I guess technically
Mhm.
I guess my salt was carrying my salt yesterday a little bit. No, my salt was carrying my tilt when I reacted to that yesterday. But yeah, um, as far as whether you want to do this or the 7th
Mhm.
Gundam, again, I guess it would really depend on your roster. But if you need certain suits, if you need a good support, like the MLRS is definitely a top tier support. So I guess in that case, you're getting 1 out of the 10, or you get a higher chance at getting the 1 full armor 7th. Um,
Right.
I mean, that would really be the thing if you're trying to determine whether you want to go for the 7th or a chance at an MLRS. I guess is going to be the big deciding factor for a support player. But other than that, I think if you need some of these suits and you're a general or a raid, then yeah, there's some good stuff there for definitely generals and raids. But that's kind of my thought on this banner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'm
I
tempted
feel
to
you
try to
there.
do another 10 spin by the time it's done. So definitely been worth it so far.
But hopefully I got one more 10 spin on this one. I think I'm gonna do just because there's the MRS level 2, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna single pull at the 7th just to see if I can get it. But that's gonna be my plans for it.
Yeah, it's in the list for the special one too. So you have a chance.
Oh yeah. But I think that's the other thing too. If you need some research at some of these higher suits too, and like say you already have it, I don't think it's the worst thing because research at this point is like what 19,000, which you're getting 100 every 3 days on average.
Hmm.
So yeah, probably not the worst thing to spin on, even if you need some research. But cool. Any other thoughts on that banner, or I guess compared to spinning on the normal banner?
Yeah, unless you're trying to get those pilot suits, you might as well try your hand at this banner if you got the tokens for it.
Yeah, pretty much. It comes down to whether or not you want the bonus chance for the new suit, or if you see something shiny on the roster that they have put up. But I don't think either are bad options.
No, this is definitely a good week. Like, I know we joked that there wasn't much last week and they were saving something big for this week, and
They definitely were.
they definitely were. So yeah. But cool. Okay, so I guess we can move over into the main information post and then we'll
Right.
bounce back and forth from there. So as far as the new stats that they added to the suits and weapons and stuff, we got more things like turning speed and max boost speed, which is when you're like actually boosting, which is cool. Like that's a really cool stat to be known. I think that's a big deal.
Thanks, Kobe.
For real though. I will say we are missing a couple of stats that I was kind of hoping they would add. Like, remember they mentioned that there is a stat that they adjusted on like I think it's the 01, where the you land on the ground and you have that moment of like, oh, I just landed. Okay, now I can move. Like that little landing delay or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Mhm.
Like there is that stat that apparently isn't in here. Oh yeah, actually, real quick on
Yeah,
the
I definitely
banner,
don't pay enough attention to it, so that's interesting.
Captain Emerald just reminded, which I know you said it earlier, Gustav, but GBO days is next week. So
Yep.
if you do happen to have a lot of these and want to save your tokens, save a 10 spin, so 30 tokens for next week. That way you can get a guaranteed suit that you do not own, I believe. Is it that you do not own, or is it guaranteed 3-star?
I think it might just be 3-star. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
okay.
I have to
It may
double
not be
check with
the
that.
yeah. Actually, I think it's just 3-star. Yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, guaranteed 3-star suit for GBO days. I can look that up real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna go with guaranteed 3-star. Either way, though, not a bad one. But if it's just guaranteed 3-star, I mean that's essentially what you're getting with any of
Yeah,
those on
this
the
is like
11th.
literally you
Mhm.
have a list, and if any of those pique your interest, then yeah. But if they don't interest you, then just wait till next week because you're
And
also
get
gonna
the
get more
GBO days.
tokens and stuff for that anyway.
So that'll be cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Good call on that banner, just because that's a nice extra thing to wait and spin on. But yeah, so that's one stat I noticed we didn't get. But as far as the list here, we have your top speed when you're moving, um, turn speed, melee strength, so what priority are you? And then on the weapons, we got weapon type, weapon icon, cool times, overheat/reload time, and focusing time. You
Sure,
guys
nice to know.
notice anything that they missed on, say, the weapon that you would like to see?
No, focusing time was actually something I didn't even expect us to get, which is nice. So
Yeah, so that was
I'm
really
good with that.
nice. I wanted to see stagger ratio.
Yeah.
That was a stat
Stagger
that they
Oh
would
didn't
be
yeah,
show.
nice.
for like consecutive hits, right?
Yep. That was a stat I was hoping they would give us. But
I feel like that one's pretty easy to test out at least, but
yeah.
like actually just getting numerical values for that would have been.
So
It is a big deal. Although maybe maybe they felt like that would make certain guns obsolete, which might
If
have been a
people were
good
too
thing.
conscious about it.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, I feel
'Cause there's
like
some guns that are just not good.
Sometimes you just gotta not be so woke so you actually play this game and not like try to play this game.
Mhm.
well, I mean, I feel like getting some of this info. I think Emblem, you mentioned it yesterday. Like noticing some of this stuff might actually show what kind of parts are a bit too weak and might
Yeah.
need some kind
Stuff
of
is
buff.
there's stuff that's underwhelming. And
Whoa!
we lost Magnum,
Whoop!
or we lost your webcam. I'm Magnum
Uh-oh.
now. And Gustav is an emblem.
um, hang on one sec. Technical difficulties, but yeah. So what do you think about the parts? There we go. Back. Okay, cool. But yeah, what do you think about the parts? Like,
What do you mean?
seeing some that might actually like knowing their stats and what they do might feel a little too
Mhm.
weak, like a waste of a part slot. And one of those I think might be the focusing rings and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, my
I feel
exact
like
thing that
people
I
felt
saw
that way
yesterday.
about the rings before already.
I don't know though, but like what I had actually said yesterday was that like there are people who use like the focusing ring is a good example on like the Alex, um, and they'll say like they notice a difference between it being on and it not being on, and like you see the stats now, and it's like
Mm,
point 2 or point 1 second. It's like, I'm sorry, man, you don't notice a difference at all.
Oh yeah.
So like maybe it does help players realize that you know, there are probably some parts that they're literally just wasting a slot on because it doesn't really like the difference that they're getting from it is super negligible and they probably don't really notice it anyway.
Yeah, that's one good thing I think we'll get out of this now is now we can actually complain about things not doing anything rather than being like, well, you guys don't know. But I mean, as far as what I've tested, this feels like garbage. Look, I've got, I screenshotted it down to the very frame. It only saved me point 0.2,
It is
like
garbage.
0.02 seconds. Look at this. What do you got to say about that one? And they're like, well, here, we'll give you the stats finally. And now we're like, okay, well, now everybody can mass complain on some of this and maybe get it fixed. Because there are some parts, like the focusing ring, I won't even like use the focusing rings at all. Like, it's that's one of those that's like a big rip, I think. I'm trying to think of another one real quick. I'm gonna go in and look.
You know,
I
I
feel
still
like I'm being
think
put on blast for that Alex one, but I have noticed in particular that they're a big waste on like the Zoc. Like that's where you definitely notice it. Like this
Yeah.
shit's so slow and to begin with, and like you're
Well, that's what I'm
definitely gonna
saying.
be waiting regardless. So it's like, yeah, forget it.
Emblem, quick. The
no blast intentional or intended, Gustav.
7th. Put it
Hmm?
on the 7th. What do we got with that? I was gonna put it on the unit
Oh
4,
god.
but put it on the
For
7th.
focus, level
Yeah.
1 and level 2 gives you 1.8 reduced charge time on the beam. I don't have level 3, so I wasn't able to look.
Okay.
Considering that it takes 5,000 centuries for the 7th, I feel like any improvement is better than none, unless it's really chunking out some of your other stats to do it.
Yeah, I've got level 1 and level 2 focusing on the unit 4 level 2, and it
Mm,
doesn't even save me a second on a 10-second charge. But it still
mhm.
saves me almost a second. So it's 0.9. So I don't know. Hmm. Again, though, what am I losing? Like I could put, because that's 6 medium and 1 long.
Right.
Which the thing is,
So
there's
that's the
not
other
enough.
question, right?
Yeah. So if I actually had this thing fully enhanced, then I could get actually. I'm missing out on another 3% damage for having the focusing ring level 2 on. So I'd probably drop it then in that case. And
But
just,
as it stands without the upgrade, it's just like, whatever.
yeah. Because otherwise I'm losing out on like shield parts or health, actually. That's what I'm losing out on is health. And maybe a leg buffer. So I could do health and a leg buffer over those, which is more utility and living. So that might actually not be, you know, 1 second trade off for a shot that I'm probably either at that point, I'm either going to make the shot or not, most likely. I don't know how I feel about that one. Again, that's the good thing about this is some of them, like anybody have the level 3 focusing ring?
I
Actually, no,
might
I
have it on
don't.
my main.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what that would turn into. But that's one of the things here. There's that part and some of these oh, actually there we go. Force cooling system. We actually have that as a stat. We don't have our thruster cooldowns, do we?
Mm-mm, I don't
Not
think
that
that's a.
I'm not that I'm aware of. No, I don't think so. That yeah,
Like, it
you're right.
doesn't
Especially for the
manipulate
part.
anything on the extra stats either, so.
Since it's a part that affects it, I would have liked to have seen him add that too. That's a good call. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, your normal cooldown and then your normal So the force cooling system and just the normal cooling system would be nice to have. I think though those, and again I could be wrong, because it seems like yeah, some of this has already been wrong. But like the amount of parts that those force cooling systems or even just the cooling system has on it is just ridiculous. Like cooling system level 2 is 10%. And if it already takes if you're saving a second, right? For 4 medium and 6 close slots, oof. I mean, of course, the cooling would be if you're double dodge rolling or double tackling, right, with the Rick
Right.
Diaz or something. But you can't even fit. I don't even think you can fit the cooling system level 3 on the Rick Diaz. So, I mean, and that's going to be the first one that's going to actually have some value to it. But there's going to be some suits. I mean, the only ones that I could think of is any raids that have a double dodge roll would take use of that. Looks like. Does the Rick seems? No, okay, it has 10. You could put it
That
on
wouldn't
there.
even.
You could use it.
I don't like. I feel like that if anything, that part's better for maneuver armor, honestly, than dodge rolls. And I don't know.
Well, even
The
then, if
chunk
you're
that
going to
gets
use
taken
it
away from it.
for, yeah, I was gonna say if you're going to use it for that, then I don't know. And then you've got force cooling, which really is only a meme for the GPO1 FB and the Agzaku command, really. Maybe some, you could argue for some double dodge rolling stuff, but again, too many parts for those two. So, I mean, the problem would be is if they ever buff those kind of parts, then it might just be too good for some cheeses, and they don't want to see that.
They'd have if they were going to adjust it, they may have to adjust the values on some parts, but I think there are a few that may just
But I
be
mean,
too low. I'm not saying like it needs to be drastically increased, maybe like 1 or 2% added.
yeah,
I think the
not
focus
much,
parts
but
are a good example.
yeah, the focus is the best one I could think of that is like this definitely needs changed, or even the field motors. I think is another example of these cost too much for not a lot of effect. And again, I definitely felt that on the full armor Thunderbolt. Putting the turning parts on, I could feel a difference, but it just didn't feel that good. And I don't know if it's the shields or what, but I'm still calling BS on the full armor having 72 turning speed and the FB also having 72 turning speed. So maybe it's the shield, or maybe it's a bug where the shield's breaking, don't actually give you back turning speed or something.
Mhm.
And or maybe you have to have all the shields broken before you're back to that turning speed. But either way, it just feels so bad to turn with in that suit. So again, I haven't tried it yet, but I wonder if it was like one of those things. Oh, guys, this is actually a fix, which I figure they would have put that in the fixes down below. But maybe that one
Right.
might be. Oh, this is too embarrassing. Let's just hope nobody noticed.
Just sweep this under the rug.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, did you look at the GPO2?
Yeah.
Like, the GPO2 is incredibly fast when it loses its shield. Does it have a base high number in
Oh yeah,
its
the
turn?
that's a good point. I was gonna say the turning speed feels fine on it. It feels faster than the full armor Thunderbolt. Let's see what do we got here.
It says 45. That I feel like that makes sense for the shield being on because it definitely turns faster than that whenever you lose it.
That is weird. Yeah, 45. Actually, wow, that's weird. Okay, I'm just calling some BS nonsense here
I mean, I
because
for the O2, I ended up putting it at least.
the MLRS says it's faster than the beam bazooka.
That's a floaty boy.
Yeah, it's a scoot. That's a scooty do. It's got to have something. It's already a support. It's not as maneuverable.
Yeah, but the turning speed though, having normally supports have lower turning speed.
It's a scooty suit.
That's a
though.
weird stat.
Scoop, scoop.
Yeah, I
I guess
guess
the
it does
comparison would
turn
be the
fast.
Zom, right? Like turning speed's 48 on that. This is 51
Maybe a stat they
baseline.
need to add to the shields in that case is how much of a negative you get to turning speed. because like right now they show us his HP, but they
Yeah.
do let
Right.
you see what like your parts do to augment that now, which is cool. Um, but maybe they should add a different stat where they show you how much of an impact it's making, because all you get is the size.
Yeah, that's kind of awkward. Didn't change it back to the right channel.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oops.
And it looks like they had 2 more slots under the shield for like size, like under there. So they could put some
Oh
extra
yeah.
data on that.
Okay, so overall,
Or
really
like
cool to have the stats. But what were you
have
gonna
it
say?
with or without shield, kind of like how they do it for transforming suits, where you can just hit a button.
That would be cool.
Hmm. Yeah, that'd be a thing.
That would be awesome.
Or even like they just have the max value and wear the shield, and it just has a negative to it because of the shield being on or something. So you kind of just like math it up or something along those lines. But some kind of indicator just showing how much of a or how much of a difference it makes without the shield would be nice. And it could also just potentially be a bug, straight bugging,
Yeah,
A bug.
that's another possibility. Rip.
or working as intended. But it's normal full armor Gundam's move or turning speed. One thing to consider is that it could be taking space specialization into account. I don't know how, because I mean, this have an impact on the stats too. If it's space only, they just include it in the total. Maybe, I don't know.
Hmm. It's interesting. The more we talk about it, the like more possibilities for extra detail.
Hmm.
It seems like they wanted to delve a little bit deeper without going like super deep for having like extra menus and shit or extra windows for
Right.
it. But it's like if you're already gonna take one step, you might as well just go all the way.
Right.
Just
Don't.
make the interface in such a way that where it's not like easy to get lost in, because you'd still have to ready up and just pick your fucking suit at the end of the day.
Hmm. All these numbers are confusing me, the average player. I don't know what this means. I'm confused.
Well, that's another thing. They talked about like explaining what I don't know if it was exam or something that didn't explain. Oh yeah, the biosensor was one of the like fixed. They said we fixed a tooltip, and yeah, it seems to be not the greatest.
Like the tooltip, or
Like the what it actually says it does like didn't make sense, and I feel like it still
gotcha.
doesn't make sense because you don't have any numbers with it. It's like, it gives bonuses. I'm like, cool. And they're
You
like,
like
okay,
bonus.
it gives, so what does that mean, guys? Okay, we got you this time. It means that you gain some defense and some offense.
How much though?
So what does that mean, guys? Like I feel like we're gonna go back and forth on that loop over and over again.
Yeah, you don't get to know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. That's oh my gosh.
Without telling you, they have to at least string you along a little.
So um so as far as that goes, the I mean, I want a little bit more, but yeah, those are a couple like the landing time that it takes, whatever that stat's going to be called. And again, the stagger ratio is a couple of things I would still like to see, but definitely a step in the right direction. Well done. And the fact that it's also translated and all that stuff. Good job. I approve.
We in there. I honestly think high speed movement, speed or boosting speed is a good addition too. As you get a feel
Yeah, just
for
to have
how
that
fast it
Yes,
moves.
now
differentiation.
that I know Maniac when by the way, shout out to Maniac and the wiki, by the way, guys. I'll try to include that in the
Oh yeah.
description. Um But yeah, like he's gonna be working quite a bit getting all the information on that. Um, but like one of the things he was talking about was maybe we might see some kind of meta shift. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. In my opinion, though, I think we're not going to get enough stats to really change much, and we already kind of had most of this information through the JP Wiki. What I would say
Right.
though is if there is a meta shift, it's going to be probably in the group of people who didn't go out of
Yeah,
their
Western
way.
players pretty much,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Anybody who didn't
Yeah,
go out of their
so
way to look up that, they're going to be like, "Ah, cool."
a little more aware, which is still the bigger part of the player base. It's always going to be.
Yeah.
You know, as much as people pride themselves on being able to like, well, actually about this and that, like you guys are still the minority.
Right.
Like in any player base, you're always going to be the minority,
Oh yeah.
and probably for the best, more often than not.
Right. I feel that. Casuals rule today, right?
Yep,
And I don't
casuals
mean
and
that in a bad
pubs.
way.
You're
Yeah.
only as good as your pub scene. No matter how much you enjoy playing with the boys, it's not going to keep the game afloat compared to people just playing in regular like public lobbies and stuff.
Nah, that makes sense. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I feel like we could see some, I guess maybe sleeper suits come up. Like I feel like suits that are already really good are seeing play. So like there'll definitely be a meta shift. I don't know if it'll be great, but I think you'll definitely see some different suits just in general because people are like, oh, I didn't know that did that. That fits like what I like to do. Let me try this out. Um, so I think it'll be interesting.
You will definitely
Yeah,
notice overall. I mean, high cost right now, and it might just be because it's the honeymoon period after the banner drop, but it's been like majority raid and support suits. Like I've hardly seen any generals, and if they are, it's because people are like protesting the composition. Like, no, can sortie in general. You know, just sitting there and like waiting at the clock and stuff, so people had to concede.
right.
But especially yesterday, like the amount of Zetas that were sorting in like 600 plus were like super low because they were all getting clacked by 7th.
Yeah, like
Now
I
they
just want
kind
to
of have to
fly
like regain
around.
their senses. Yeah, let me fly. No,
get out of the air, Zeta. Oh my gosh, you're a giant
jobbers in
anti-air beam
jobbers
mega
in the
launcher.
sky.
Whew.
Jobbers in the sky. I see what you did there.
So, moving on though, as far as the notes goes, the battle simulator, we kind of covered that. So pretty much you can restart now, and then it's coming to multiplayer in the future. So that's kind of cool. Um, and then they show your results pretty much for each phase. They're of the participating pilots are displayed in the results after clearing the mission. Oh, okay, cool. That's cool, I guess. Then we get to the mix-up stuff. Oh, I think the big thing is though is mix-up in custom games. Am I right? Come on,
Oh
let's
yeah,
go. Oh, dude,
nice that we finally have it.
for real though, I can't wait to do
Just
just
another
nothing but
reason
mix-up.
to never leave customs again for people.
Yeah,
Sure.
right. I mean, mix-up's so good because you can take anything in, and it's just a kill fest, right? There's
Oh
no
yeah.
bomb planting. There's nothing. It's just kill the enemy and
Couple bomb callings every once in a while for the support strikes, but that's it.
yeah, there is that. But it pretty much is what everybody wants through basic. From when I hear complaints about basic, they're like,
Like simple
I
battle, but
just don't
faster.
want the bombs. Oh yeah, and that's
I
the
mean,
other
it comes
thing.
down to the fact that like the fact that pilot stuff just sucks. Like it's funny when you see people have like good highlight reels of them doing pilot based shenanigans, but it's still pretty rare
Yeah, and if
and
you
it's
don't
not
do it,
recommended.
like when I get in there and I'm trying to steal a suit or get a bomb and do stuff, like once I do it 3 or 4 games in a row, then I'm like, okay, I'm back in here because I used to like try to do that all the time. And then so I got kind of used to being a pilot, but man, if I go like a week or 2 without being a pilot, then I'm just like, how do I've got a knife. Yeah. Oh no. Come here. Let me shank you.
Why is this clunky and awkward?
Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
Why
exactly.
do so many other games do this better? Fuck.
Yeah, I know like the topic of them adding a pilot only game mode came up, and I was like, bro, they need to make the pilot stuff actually good before they
Compelling
even bother
first.
with game mode.
Don't
Yeah.
even touch it unless you're actually gonna overhaul it.
In chat, we got the
Yeah.
coolest thing about being an infantry is seeing yourself climb into your suit. For real though.
Yeah, that
That's real.
somebody said it yesterday too, actually, in my stream.
Was it
I'm
Canadian?
guessing it was the same person. Oh yeah, yeah. I think it
Yeah.
was Canadian that said it in my stream yesterday.
Well played.
Um,
But that's super true.
But
Maybe one day we'll get that overhaul.
one day.
It'll be like the end of life for this game, and then GBO3 they'll like laud it as like one of the bigger improvements. It's like, yeah, we had to test that shit out for you guys. Thanks.
Yeah,
You're
pretty much.
welcome.
yeah, it almost seems like it's purposely bad because they want the focus to be on the mobile suits,
Yeah.
but
But
yeah,
they still
it's
want you
kind
to
of
play that objective, boy howdy.
yeah.
It's a team game, you guys.
Just remember that next time you're asking for 1v1s.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm sorry, what were we gonna say, Magnum?
Well, I was gonna say, just the next thing, they updated the base camp, yay! With the 2
Yazal.
million.
Yeet.
So that's kind of cool. We
Mm.
talked about the 7th, so I'll go ahead and go over to that page real
Mm.
quick. So again, 550, 600 support, cool stuff. Got the pro helmet with the normal suit, boot. And we got the Ifrit Noct and the Galbaldi Alpha, level 4 of each in the
Oh,
lottery.
yeah.
What do you guys think about those suits? Do they still hold up at 550 for the Galbaldi Alpha and 500 for the Noct?
I mean, isn't the beta literally using its rifle anyway? And like it just has a different
Well, it's a different rifle
That's a
because
smaller hitbox.
it actually has a reload system. So even though it's a beam, it actually has ammo. So you actually take the
Yeah,
quick
it uses
loader.
E-caps.
Yeah. So whereas the Galbaldi is like
Um,
you get 2 shots and then you're overheated. So I mean, really, the alpha or the beta, the beta is pretty much better in every way, in my opinion. But
well, you get to Sturmfaust.
yeah, you still
And
got
that's
an
what
instant
potentially
stun.
use the one rocket.
Yeah.
the melee is a little bit tighter, but I do like the advancing downswing because I did get the beta yesterday. I've been
Yeah.
enjoying my time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably play the beta over the alpha. I don't think it's strictly worse because they both have double downswing or they both have double dodge roll.
Yeah, I still think it
Has
holds
nice
up though.
options.
I mean, that was kind of more of the main question. And also, this is going into
Right.
550, whereas the beta is only up to
Mm.
500 right now. So
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
you'll have the stats
It's got a
and
lot.
go ahead.
Good. I would just say it has a lot that it's that is honestly better than it that has to compete against. Insta stuns go a long way. I think just the fact that it's got an instant stun and double dodge rolls, and even a backup stun help it out a lot. But you
Yes,
know,
please.
you probably
Not
still
to
run
mention the
the
speed on
mark
that
too.
downswing. Get
Yeah.
that poke in there.
Yeah, it's surgical. Like that's probably like the coolest thing about it is just you
Yeah.
can get that
You
sweet
can
poke.
front and just kind of shift around your teammates and still get that damage in.
And I kind of have
Mhm.
to agree with the statement that like trying to compare it to the beta might not be a fair thing to do just because they do play different enough that I mean they got the insta stagger and the double dodge roll, but then the way their down swings work, the way that their secondary weapons work, I think might be you could compare them to a different
Mhm.
suit, another general rather than just comparing them to each other.
I
But
mean, I can see that to some degree, but the only thing I have a problem with is like they play differently enough. I kind of disagree with that. They're both stagger melee knockdown suits. Both of them. Like I don't know, and this could be said a lot for generals, like
Like
because
literally any suit in this game.
Yeah, fair
yeah,
enough.
like most of them. But I mean, it's literally like insta stagger, like melee follow up for both of them. I think they have a very similar play scheme,
Yeah, that's
in
true.
that regard. So like I don't know. I think it's fair to compare them to other suits, but just saying that they have like different play schemes, I have to disagree with in that regard.
I guess mainly the main difference
I
though is
think they
their
both want to
secondary
do
weapon
I think they both want to do the same thing. Yeah,
and how their
they just have
downswing
two
hits.
different secondaries.
Yeah, their downswing and their secondary, I guess, is their main differentiating point between the two.
Right.
So, but overall, I like both of them. It took me a little while to get into the alpha, but the beta I felt right at home with. Maybe it's because I did practice with the alpha a bit, but yeah,
What's tighter?
if you do end up getting it though, the
Makes
main thing
sense.
with the level 4 that I was going to point out is the level 2
Mhm.
complex slot. Woohoo! Get
Yeah,
that
that's
enhancement,
true.
and which I
Do we know
think
if it actually has it,
I was
or
going to
are we
say
just assuming
we've
from the
apparently
bubble?
found one situation. I don't know if we found a second one yet. Did we ever find a second suit that doesn't have the level 2 at level 4?
I'm not sure.
Because I know we did find one. So they are out there. They do exist. Does exist. They do exist.
They do exist.
So
Santa?
so there's that. But same with the Freet Noct level 4, it should have the complex 2 as well. Which is a pretty terrifying thing for both of these suits to have that many slots already. Just looking at them real quick, I got it pulled up, and yeah, like having 2 more plus if they get any extra slots anyway for going up from level 3 to 4, that's a pretty
You are
big
not
deal.
prepared.
So now here's the question mainly for you, because for me, my situation with the Noct personally, so does it hold in 500 is what I'm asking. And for me, even at 450, I run out, I get somebody's attention, run behind a wall, they don't know I'm there, and I'm like, spin out, knock them over, and then off behind another wall, and then out of a corner, and then
What is with these noises?
you know, and
Get
then,
out of here!
then I
You never played a knock? Do you throw a kunai and then you hit him with the whoop, whoop, you know?
But
Or
yeah,
like the pixie, and you come out from behind the corner, you know, the shing,
Yeah.
you know,
and then you run and hide real quick.
yeah.
And you go "Nyum," all the way across the map.
Yeah, by the
You
way,
get
just seeing your
linear maneuver armor doesn't
thrusters.
work, and you actually just get staggered and die. Sorry, go
What?
ahead.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think though? Do you think it holds up just because of the stealth aspect? At
Stealth goes a
500?
long way. Pixie, depending on who you ask or what map you're on, I think is pretty nice at like 500 at level 3.
Mm.
So getting a higher level version of the Noct won't be bad. Because I mean, a lot of people say like, "Oh, jamming pretty much lets them know you're there," but you really just have to play it right.
Kind of does, but
It does, but again, like if you're like
you still got to be hiding. It's not like the pixie where you can literally be like pretty much breathing down their neck, still have it, depending on what their radar is like.
Yeah.
Like you actually have to still
Yeah,
hide with that
you
thing.
could be. But if you think about it though, like the pixie shows up on radar at 150 meters, and granted, jamming is bigger than that, but like you're essentially trading off. You're trading off them knowing you're in their general vicinity for stuns.
Yeah.
It's
like,
also a
the
literal
Noct is-
pressure just by existing, because now they're got their
Yeah.
heads on a swivel and they're not paying attention to the front.
Yep.
They're
And
not
then
just
you
blasting your front line.
actually block the radar too. So a support, like if you get too used to your radar and paying attention to that and everything else and looking for bars above people's heads, as soon as you lose that as like a support main, when I lose that, I'm like, where am I?
I don't
How do
like
I
that.
even how do I even play the game?
I'm confused.
How do I walk
How
forward?
do I breathe?
I forgot to what's the shoot button? Like, I mean, without
How do
yeah, pretty much. How do you shoot?
Where all the mobile suits go? I can't see.
Yeah, so
I'm blind.
yeah, like every time I run into one, it's just the worst feeling ever not being able to see bars and suits and everything. So I know some people are like, we can go without a support. We don't need bars above heads. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you even saying? I can't
I didn't
function
even play
without my
this game.
radar.
They don't need it until they don't have it, and then it starts to get bad.
Pretty much.
Because it also dictates who you prioritize without having to shoot them to check.
Yeah, that's another thing. So yeah, as far as the thing, you definitely need one support to show that information. But at the same
Oh, yeah.
time, that's one reason why the Noct is so good. Just because, or any suit that has jamming is so good because it's like, hey, so hope you like having information to feed your teammates. Good luck. And then pretty much what Gustav said, you're always heads on a swivel, especially if you're the support. You're like just full on rotating the entire time as you're walking forward, like because you're like, where is he? Where is he? Murderous intent. So
And then you sneak up while the pilot's dizzy and give him the or, what were we saying earlier?
Giving the wow.
like,
Yep. You just delete us.
and for real though, like if you're ever watching me and I'm like, oh no, murderous intent, and you ever see like the JoJo's menacing floating somewhere on the screen,
We
that's
need to have
every
that on
time.
there.
Like, oh, I hate seeing Nox. I hate anything. I like the flipper as well. Oh my gosh, get the jamming out of here, dude. Ugh. So,
Is that the photo stain I hear playing in the background? What is this?
but yeah. So overall, two good suits. If you manage to get them out of the lotto, that's pretty cool. So I guess that takes care of that page. So I'll go ahead and close that down. Next thing we got in the DP store. Now this one I really like. I'm a big fan of the suit. The Gelgoog Haimo Type VG. Level 1. If you like the Gelgoog cannon and you want a blue version of it, this is the closest thing to that. Now it is all beams, but I think that's also a bonus to it because then you're building for beams rather than like, well, I got beam cooldown, but I have
You're
a
trying to like hit her
bazooka.
both.
Yeah. So you got a grenade, which is nice on this. So you got a grenade for a stagger. You can charge your main beam, and then you just put the beam on your shoulder, and it gets stronger for some reason.
And it has a
I mean,
separate
to be
overheat.
fair, yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, it's probably plugging into your generator and has more output, but still,
Yeah.
kind of hype.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, it has a different
Like just a
overheat. No big
different
deal.
output level.
This
Like
works for the
that's the goofy
supports.
part.
Yeet.
Never mind that the rifle itself is like on the verge of melting, but yeah, you can hit it again.
Yeah, no big deal. So yeah, so
Yeah,
you
whatever.
could have up to 3 different staggers, and essentially, like when you put it on your shoulder, it's just like a Gelgoog cannon with a lot less damage, but it's still pretty much that kind of Gelgoog cannon playstyle.
Mhm. Good
Um,
damage, instance done.
doesn't it have another weapon? Am I missing something? It's got the beam, grenade, and the
The
shoulder. Does it have like a grenade at all?
Melee.
Well, I
I
mean, it
don't
has
know.
a,
I'm not that
and then
good.
it
like a
has a,
throwable grenade. It has the launcher, it has a grenade,
it has the
the rifle.
typical Gelgoog melee, so just like a hit and then swing around in a circle and do a slash in front of you. The crazy melee of what am I even doing? Here we go. Pull it up real
You gotta
quick.
be threatening. Swing it around like a baton.
Okay, no, that's it. That's it. Okay, it's just got those 3. For some reason, I
Mhm.
was thinking it had something else, but yeah. But yeah,
Yes.
solid suit, dodge roll, skills on it, force injector, 1 dodge roll, emergency evasion 1, balancer, quick boost 3, melee combo, controller 1, and a high spec ambac. So pretty base for most skills, but I mean it's still a really solid suit. And that was the suit that they picked for the winning team out of the tournament. So
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
so
players
if you
may
didn't
already
get
have
it
it, but
then,
if
you
you're new,
definitely get it now.
yeah, and again, it's a really good suit. So can recommend. 450 cost, by the way. Yeah, didn't see anything too
Right up,
crazy in the fixes. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Gustav?
right up there with the Marine Commander.
Yes. Actually,
Yeah,
I
good
would
rule of thumb is that if a mobile suit has somebody's fucking initials, it's damn good.
pretty much. I'm kind of
It's signed
surprised it
for a
doesn't have
reason.
leg buffer though, but it's still good.
It makes sense though. It's literally got like its high mode stuff exposed.
By the way, that tournament that I mentioned was just a Japanese tournament that they had.
Yeah, like a million years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, through the fixes, I don't know if you guys noticed anything. I saw a lot of stuff with the Psycho Gundam. I kind of want to go back through and try that fight again just to see if anything actually feels different. But
I just haven't had a chance to look at the patch notes yet, like the actual changes they made. I saw Kobe's letter when they released it a few days ago.
yeah, so they have the
Did that ever
fixes
get
to
an
the battle
English
simulator.
post, or was it just did we just have the
I don't think
translated?
I've ever seen them translate any of Kobe's
Oh yeah,
I
news.
kind
no.
of wish they would.
I think we
I
got
ended up
one.
adding them for that the other day.
Oh wait, no, we didn't get. I was gonna say I thought we got the raid one, but we didn't. We actually got it like right before the raid changes came out, I think, or right after
Mm.
the raid changes came out. It's like,
Yeah, I think it's actually after.
yeah, so that never mind. But as far as the actual fixes, the only one that I saw that was like a big deal was the skill related. So if you had say force injector on a suit like the level 4 Efreet custom, and it was a higher level already, then say what the exam gives. Then when you pop exam, it would replace the higher level with the exam level one, and
Right.
so your force injector would actually go down, and your suit would be worse. So that's a big rip. But luckily it's fixed now. So, cool.
Mm.
Other than that, I didn't really notice anything too crazy. Other than the battle simulator stuff is a mile-long list of
Yeah,
fixed
the AI was
Psycho
stupid.
Gundam,
We
raid
tried to
Psycho Gundam.
tried to fix it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I literally like 7 or 8 fixes here just have Psycho Gundam, Psycho Gundam, Psycho Gundam, Psycho Gundam, all through these. So
Maybe
I'm,
the Gian won't be the Psycho Gundam's worst nightmare anymore.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if the Kian's still top tier or if it changed it to where it's even better, or so we'll have to try that out and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, if it responds a little bit better in general, then
Yeah, if it is
you might have to
harder,
hustle a little bit more, but we'll see.
yeah, if it is harder, then I'm definitely gonna make some kind of video about it, saying, hey, look, they actually did some cool stuff here with this fight. But maybe not. Let's see. That is the end of that page. Now let's go into the 2 million downloads thing. So 30 tokens, we already mentioned that. So get that free 10 spin.
Or wait till GBO days.
Yeah. But still 30 tokens, hype. And this is
Yep, yeet.
huge. 100% recon. They're doing it again. They did this, I think, for the 1 million one as well. So every 3 boxes you get, the next one is guaranteed silver or gold. And 100% drop rate. So get out there and get your boxes. And hopefully you didn't spend all your tokens last night, because now today you can get to gold medal faster if you didn't, which is more salt on my salt with my tilt. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Ugh. But
I'm already gonna spend for that other third 10 spin, so I'm not too bothered about it.
yeah, I just wish I kind of waited till today to do 90 token spin rather than just only having 30. Getting that gold medal is 5 boxes a day. Let's go. That's guaranteed silver or gold every day. All I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that's true.
That means you're getting 2 on some days. But Char's helmet and mask. Let's go, dude.
Yep, Char fanboys unite.
Yeah.
The impersonators are going
Now,
strong.
now I got my Char helmet with Quattro shades. Let's go.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a bit too meta there. We won't know who you are.
I,
Just
Quattro
like, which
Char,
is it, man?
am not Char Aznable. I may be
Char
Quattro
Bagina.
Char. Yeah, Char Pagina. Yeah.
Quattro Ajnabel.
Yeah, there we go. Who am I? Char Pagina or Quattro Aznable? Yeah. By the way, did I ever send you
The
guys that
world may
video?
never know.
I, Quattro Pagina, am not Char Aznable. though I am flattered to be compared to such a beautiful, wonderful man. I have to sadly inform you that I am not him.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Okay, I'll have to link that to you guys. It is great.
I feel like he had an actual moment like that in Zeta. It's like wasn't that grandiose, but it was just like
Yeah, it's pretty much
trying to speak
referencing
for
that.
him. That was pretty funny.
I did hear Shar has an excellent six pack. I did see that.
He's completely ripped.
Absolutely shredded.
Now there was a SNL skit with Star Wars, like
Yeah.
where what's his name did
Was it
that?
for
Adam
Kylo or
Driver.
whatever? Yeah.
Adam Driver and
Yeah.
Kylo. Yeah, like he was complete. Like it's the undercover boss thing. He's completely shredded. I heard he was a loser, and then he just like throws the guy into a vending machine. But yeah, and then we talked about the Dom tropical test type, so we covered that. Woot woot.
Very fancy lad.
And
Doing good
finally,
work.
the mission stuff for that, which again, get the suit, the goggles. So here's the goggles on screen.
They do
Tropical
nothing.
tropical desert camo. There you go. Honestly, the tropical desert camo looks like you could actually blend in tropical desert a little bit.
Yeah, considering
was
how
nice.
much of that would just max up, like I can see that, especially around the dunes and all that.
But now we got to figure out where the actual picture is on the actual map. That's the main question.
The hunt has begun.
Screw where the guy is. Where's the picture originated from?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, I haven't looked for the Akai in the picture in a long time.
I'm assuming they still do it.
Oh yeah,
I don't know though. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it too much.
I'm looking in this
It can be kind of
tropical
tricky
one.
sometimes too, because I know like sometimes it's just in the text of the actual message, but I don't know how that works when it's translated into English.
Yeah, I was gonna say like with this picture, I'm guessing it could like be in the sky at this point. You know, it's just painted blue. You know,
Oh
I'm looking
no.
for it to be like back there as like a somewhere in the sky kind of like I see an eye right here maybe, or maybe I'm just crazy, but I
Just a
think I
blue
see it
guy.
like right up there in the top right, just about an inch, maybe not even an inch on the top right of the picture for the tropical. Like I see what could be an Akai head. Maybe. I
Is
don't
that
know if
about like
anybody.
the building or whatever behind it?
No, on the tropical. Are you talking about the
Like you're talking about the like literal top right, or like the mobile suit itself?
No, the literal top right of the picture, up in the blue sky there. Like
Yeah, up on the building, maybe like the tiniest little dome.
wait, what building? What?
The building behind it. Are you talking about the building behind it?
On the tropical?
Oh, you're talking about the tropical. I thought you were talking about the full armor.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's what talking about the tropical. But on the full armor one, I have no clue right now. Like that could just
Sorry.
be anywhere.
You probably said tropical, but I was just looking at the full armor thing, so I was only hearing full armor.
Like honestly, I think I might see it. And again, you're just wanting to see it anywhere. But I think I might see it literally under look under I know how sad a loss, and under loss on the full armor. Under the two S's. Look at that. Does that not kind of look like an Akai eye? Like a tiny little super tiny Akai? But that's the thing. Every time I look for one of these, I see like 2 different ones or 3 different ones because I'm trying to make something into an
Yeah, I'm not
Akai.
seeing it.
But for me, I just see the Akai's
looks
eye
like-
right there.
This looks like a glare on his mobile suit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that could all it be. Yeah, and that's probably what it is. But like every time I'm looking for an Akai in these, I'm like, oh, there's one. Maybe that's it, or maybe that's it over there. Like I always find like 2 or 3 different ones. But anyway, so yeah, and then we get the DP, the recycle tickets, and the enhancement tickets, which is cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the new stuff.
Pretty extensive. A lot of good chances to get some good shit for sure.
Oh, show.
One good point, they did not put anything new in the ticket shop.
No, yeah, it was all the same. Really weird.
So I'm kind of like, well, you know, they had to prove me wrong on something. So there goes my. It'll be 8 weeks probably till the Zoc. Now we got to push that back another week. Thanks, guys.
Much appreciated, assholes.
They had to prove me wrong somewhere.
Yeah, they're like, damn, downtime. Can't have them. Got to show them what's good. I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, so I guess that's pretty much the notes. Do we want to go ahead and go into talking about what we think the new suit is going to be, and then do some shoutouts?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep, I'm done with my tropical missions.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing
Trying
after
to get
this.
around
Is
it.
probably tropical missions, and then going back into hard mode for Final Fantasy. That's what my plan is. But so new suit stuff, and why am I dying? Okay,
On stream.
I just heard my beep go off. What do we got here? Oh, I got to plug
Oh,
myself.
literally. Oh no.
I gotta plug myself into a wall. Hang on, guys. I've got to
do what you need to.
I've got to recharge. My bad.
Yeah, the fact that they added 7th Gundam, I know a lot of people are anticipating it, but it also kind of opens up things a
Yeah,
lot more.
a lot of people
It'll
are
be
wanting to
interesting
see
if we
it.
got regular 7th, and then there's like
description.
another variant of the full armor that might actually be a little bit more space only. But there's some other configurations of that suit that we might be able to see. So I'm excited for that too.
We need the
I think
spacecraft.
Mecca mentioned like an MFA 7th Gundam, so like that might be the other version you're referring to as well. Maybe I don't know what it looks like.
It looks like there's 3 variants. There's some art on the wiki that was kind of
Gotcha,
showing off
okay.
that kind of stuff. So that'll be interesting. I hope that they don't leave it at just having this support variant. Just put it that much.
Yeah, we definitely need more than this. Also back to saying we need more than just something. Since the Striker custom's in, what was that other one? I can't remember the name of the suit now, but that would be kind of cool to see for raids, or even see it as a general suit.
The Domel.
Yeah, that's what it was. But again, my picks for 3 supports, because I still yet to have a transforming support. That's 600. So we're gonna go with the Bound Dock.
Like the thirsty. You've been sated, you thirsty support player. You're good.
No.
I have
until
not
it
been
can
sated.
fold up into a weird flying box.
Can this fold 7 times?
Can this yoga into a plane?
Origami Gundam, darn it.
So
considering all this stuff on the skirt, it looks like it should be able to turn into something though.
Yeah, right though.
So over designed, holy shit.
I know, right?
So I'd say
What do
probably.
you think of one of the Maxi Boost suits?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, exactly. With like the
How many
shoulder
triangles
cannon.
can you put on a
Yeah,
fucking suit?
exactly. Like I'm seeing some of those suits, and I was like, man, this doesn't feel. This kind of doesn't feel UC a little bit. Just saying. But yeah. So my 3 picks: the Bound Dock support, the Ashimar support, and the Method support.
Fighting
Method
word.
support.
Sorry. Not the Method, but I mean,
if
I
we're
can
gonna
see a
have
couple.
that, we have to have a
Detector.
trade-off. Oh god, ray detector.
Oh
No, I'll
no.
fight the detector for the right to make the Methus a raid.
Oh no.
Oh wait.
I mean, we can do a trade-off.
You're gonna
We can just turn
1v1
the
me?
tropical
You wanna
dom.
1v1 the detector? Let's go.
Just make the tropical dom a raid and just call it a day.
Oof, that's scary. But yeah, I still want to see. We'll go with Palace Athene, sure, as my 3rd pick instead of the Methus.
which will end up being a raid.
Or the Cubulay as a support. Ha ha ha
Which
ha.
will definitely be a raid.
I could see it honestly. I'd love it if it was a raid, but I could see it being a support.
But
That'd be good. Have a high level bishop to play in space.
oof.
Oh my god.
Oh no. But yeah, that's pretty much my 3 picks. I still want my transforming support.
Yeah,
kinda
I'm
mad we haven't
calling the
got one.
Gapflay for that.
That wouldn't be a bad option either. I would take that as well. So add that as my secret 4th option.
So Gapflay, Boundock, I'm still really excited to see. We still haven't gotten our Ashimar, our flyboy.
Yeah. And the reason why I think that'll work is essentially you just snipe, fly away, snipe, fly away, snipe, fly away. I think that would
Bang!
be yeah, I think that would be a cool little
Pew!
combo.
Yeah, you just have 2 variations on the shot, like a low power and full power for
Yeah.
sniping or
Pretty
Then
much
we
like a
get a
high
support
Zach
Shiki
custom.
with the launcher.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah,
And then a
to hook
full
up to
armor
another mobile
Zeta.
suit.
I'm good with that.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. Full armor Zeta.
Full
Yes.
armor
Oh,
Zeta.
yeah.
But that is a support.
Yes.
That'll be your transforming suit if it can still transform with the full armor
If yeah,
stuff on.
right.
It might not be able to. We'll have to see. But hey, man, if we're gonna go all in on that, and if we're gonna be touching on 7th Gundam stuff, like anything else that's around that time,
Yeah, that would be really
definitely
cool.
open for grabs too. So yeah, I'll hope we get a standard for that, just so we can have something else to rock that rifle on, like some of that other shit on.
That'd be nice.
Give it some cool melee animations or something to differentiate it.
So yeah,
And then we
Gustav.
can put attack pose on it.
Yes. But what would be your 3 solid picks for what you'd like to see or what you think?
7th Gundam, Gathly, and then Raid, I don't know. Anything, pretty much. Method, no. Method is gonna be a support, you already know.
No.
Yes. But we can do that just in case, because you never know. You got to cover your bases. Because I feel like it's going to be a while until we get the Cubulay. I feel like we're still a ways out from that, but that would have been my other big raid one.
I feel you.
So what about you, Emblem? What's your three raids that you're gonna pick?
Hey, I gave one of
Yeah, we got
each
the
type
Hambrabri up
last
there.
time. Thank you very much. I wish I could say like some. Well, well, we just got a full armor, so I won't say full armor slave wraith for now. I'm gonna hold on my guns to keep saying raid Methus. I'll have to, at this point, I kind of wonder if they're gonna pump the brakes a little on transformables. I hope not. I like this. They're fun. I like to see some more.
Yeah, just give us cool shit, guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like we kind of talked about it with the event being over. Are they going to slow down? I think that might be the case till July-ish.
Because I don't know if like, because I'm like my go-to was raid Methus, support Masala, and something else. But now it's kind of hard to say.
Solid wouldn't be a bad support, yeah.
No.
Why don't we say, I'll double down on support Pallas Athene. We'll say, but they pulled a gun on the O. I don't know. Although they had to do many download ceremonies, might be a good time to do it. Splash the pot a little bit.
I think.
Well,
I really think before they do
we
anything
probably
like
see the
O,
Masala first, though.
yeah. I mean, for me, I think we're gonna see. By the way, I'll add in on the Amrap Eater Masala for maybe general. It'd be cool to see the Methus for a raid though.
Yeah.
But
good.
Well, I was gonna say I think the it's gonna be till July when the that event happens in late July. Like last time, that's when the anniversary event started. I think was the last week of July. So
We are getting pretty close, or
yeah.
relatively close to
So
anniversary, so that is also a consideration. We'll
because
definitely get some big boy suits for that. That's for sure.
I think that's going to be the the Cubule and something else. Probably the Bound Dock. Then I think
I
we're going to
hope
see
the
those
O's
three.
counter is just the saber hug. Like that'd be cool.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
That'd be a good one, and it just has like a couple of melee options.
Hmm.
Like maybe its secondary melee is
Those
melee sub arms.
manipulator arms, yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think it'd be cool if its main melee was just 4 beam sabers or something. Like it just uses its
Just
main
doing
arms
crazy
and its sub
twirls or
arms.
shit. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
dude, it just has a
gosh,
ton of fucking sabers.
go straight General Grievous on
Make it
somebody.
a raid.
Yeah, man, you just cut them to freaking ribbons.
Oh
That'd
my
be so
gosh, what
sick.
if it actually had? What if it? I mean, I'm guessing it would, but think about that. What if the damage on each beam saber was like 2,000 or something, and it counted as 4 hits? Ugh. Oh, that's
Just the
gross.
pretty much just the most deadliest downswing in the game.
They're gonna have to put that on
But
a
also
support.
like a huge window for a counter.
They put that on support. That would be
Oh god,
funny.
that'd be gross.
But like supports have a crazy
They
downswing.
would though. Knock over a whole team trying to like get in your guts.
But yeah, after seeing some of the stuff,
It'd be pretty cool.
after seeing some of the stuff in like Maxi Boost, like yeah, I definitely want to see stuff. But yeah, sorry, Emblem. So what are your 3 picks?
It's kind of hard to say. Like, I'll just I think I listed 2. I'll just go with the 2 that I had for now. Like my guns, raid methods, we and their boys, um, and support being maybe like the Palace Athene or something like that. And we'll go with I don't know, maybe Dommel as a space general or something, just so I have another pick.
Cool.
Raid gun tank.
Raid gun tank. Oh no.
Yes.
No, 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 no.
The only raid tank we need is the goof tank.
It'd be hilarious if they let you Spider-Man around with the gift custom like you can in Maxi Boost.
That would be cool.
Okay. So yeah, do we want to go ahead and move into some shout outs? Wrap it up.
Yeah, might as well.
Hey. So, Gustav, what do you got going on? What's coming up?
Still doing more Death Stranding, I'll be honest. And I am okay with
You cut out?
Yeah, I'll be something.
be doing more Death Stranding. And that's gonna be taking a while, and I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest.
There you
Gotcha. Okay.
Usual
Nothing
places
like
Gustav_13 on Facebook, Twitter, as well as doing streams on Twitch. Try to do our dailies every day in Gundam Battle Operation 2, with our secondary game being followed up after that, typically.
Cool. Emblem, what have you got going on?
Yeah. Same thing on Twitch. Different URL. You can find me at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. But we'll be hitting it up for sure. I am going to I will beat a Koi Wars master. Just you guys wait. And we'll be playing Soccer Wars, Battle Op, and all that good jazz. It should be pretty hype, I think. I've been waiting for that game for a while, so just getting a chance to play it is pretty fun.
Cool. And as always, everybody's links and stuff will be down in the description below. Yeah, below. Words are hard. But my name's EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch, got a Discord, Twitter, all that stuff. Gonna be doing some GBO2 stuff and things. Right after this, gonna be doing some GBO2, trying to get the tropical test, and then probably, if there's enough time, hopping into some more hard mode of Final Fantasy. Should be finishing hard mode tomorrow. That's the plan for now. Unless I can't remember what Chad's doing, but we might try to hop into some Borderlands 3, maybe. We'll see what's going on there. If not, probably finishing that on Monday is what I'm guessing. But yeah, other than Borderlands 3 and that, GBO2 dailies as always. And since we're getting into May, I need to get back on Path of Exile and finish off my challenge. Pretty much the plans for now, unless something crazy pops up. Oh, and next week, probably going to try that speed run of Final Fantasy hard mode sometime.
Okay.
So that'll be fun. That'll be intense. So far, the fastest time. Yeah, the fastest time right now is like 8 hours, but this is on a PS4 Pro, so I don't have that. So I get to go for the other category, but still, that time is like 8 hours and like 19 minutes or something. And I am so glad watching that the guy had the same problems at the same bosses I had problems with. That one that I told you that I didn't understand the mechanic, which I talked to both of you about, with the laser, like,
Yeah.
he had to redo that like 3 times before he actually got past that fight. So,
Oof.
and that was during the speed run. So yeah, like, and the entire time. So this guy's from NA. The entire time he was just like, I hate this boss. I hate this boss. This boss sucks. I hate this boss. So I'm glad everybody feels that way about that boss.
Yeah, those resets must have been brutal.
Yeah.
to
So
deal
like,
with that.
so yeah, pretty much what people are saying is you could get it down to like 7 hours, maybe, if not faster. Which also, I need to farm some more gear because everybody I've been watching has like all the unlocked gear and all the stolen gear, and I need to go get that. But anyway, that'll be it for this one, guys. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.